तो विश्वास जताया है मोदी जी की गारंटी में।
सेलिब्रेशन कब देखने को मिलेगा यहाँ पे?
देखिए, चुनाव जीतना सेलिब्रेशन से ज्यादा सेवा का अवसर होता है, तो हम तो सेवा में लग जाएंगे तुरंत। सेलिब्रेशन तो जनता कर रही है कि उनको राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ दोनों ही जगहों से एक भ्रष्ट और नॉन परफॉर्मिंग सरकार से मुक्ति मिली है, तो जनता आज सेलिब्रेट कर रही है।
कांग्रेस ऑफिस के बाहर जो ढोल नगाड़े बज रहे थे उनका शोर कम हो गया।
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि उनको तो सोचना चाहिए, जनता कह रही है, मैं तो इन शब्दों का इस्तेमाल नहीं करता हूं, पर लोग पूछ रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया में सुबह से कि असली पनौती कौन है।
थैंक यू सो मच बात करने के लिए सर।
देने वाले नतीजे जब से आए हैं तो बीजेपी का जोश जो है वो डबल हो चुका है, और इस जोश के आगे जो आंकड़े हैं वो बता रहे हैं कि बीजेपी 119, कांग्रेस 63 और अदर 17 ऊपर नीचे थोड़ा बहुत लगा हुआ है, लेकिन बीजेपी फिलहाल 115 से नीचे आती हुई दिख नहीं रही है। विजय जी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, बीजेपी दिल्ली ऑफिस से हमारे संवाददाता बात कर रहे थे। विजय जी, बड़ा बॉडी लैंग्वेज, बहुत पॉजिटिव, बहुत जोश खरोश, और बीजेपी ने जो 3 लाइन पे मोदी का कैंपेन करना शुरू किया है, वो भी बता दूं आपको कि जो लाइन ली गई है वो लाइन ये है कि मन में मोदी है, एक अकेला सब पर भारी, और मोदी की गारंटी कामयाब है। विजय जी। विजय जी,
हाँ, मोदी की गारंटी कार्ड अभी देखिए सब लोग ने गारंटियां देना शुरू कर दिया, तो मोदी जी को लगा कि किसकी गारंटी सबसे भारी पड़ेगी, तो शायद अपने आप को उन्होंने गारंटी कार्ड के रूप में रखा। कांग्रेस ने राजस्थान में प्रियंका गांधी, राहुल गांधी को गारंटी कार्ड के रूप में रखा, लेकिन उनका दाव इस रूप में चला नहीं है। और दूसरी बात है कि मोदी का प्रयोग वो सफल रहा, राजस्थान में 7 सांसद उतारे थे, जिसमें से 5 साफ तौर पर चुनाव जीत रहे हैं और 2 इस समय पिछड़ रहे हैं। और कुछ जो अप्रत्याशित रूप से कुछ लोग जो पीछे चल रहे थे अभी 3-4 राउंड पहले, वो भी अप्रत्याशित रूप से आगे हो गए हैं। और मन में मोदी वाला मध्य प्रदेश में ये उन्होंने चलाया था, तो मुझे लगता है कि अब पूरे देश भर में लोकसभा चुनाव के मद्देनजर ये चलाने की कोशिश बीजेपी की होगी। और सबसे थोड़ा हैरानी की बात तो मुझे छत्तीसगढ़ का लगता है, जहां पर बीजेपी ने जोर भी नहीं दिया, प्रधानमंत्री ने भी ज्यादा रैलियां नहीं की, एक तरह से हारा हुआ चुनाव मानकर चल रही थी। वहां पर भी बीजेपी अगर चुनाव निकाल लेती है तो इसका मतलब ये है कि कांग्रेस से सरकारें अपनी जो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को ढक नहीं पाती हैं, और बीजेपी की जो सरकार है शिवराज सिंह चौहान की, वो 18 साल की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी पर भी पार पा जाती है। और राजस्थान में अशोक गहलोत 5 साल की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी पर भी ओपीएस जैसी शानदार योजना, चिरंजीवी जैसी शानदार योजना के बावजूद, सिलेंडर 500 रुपए में देने के बावजूद वो लोगों का दिल नहीं जीत पाते। वो कह रहे थे पहले, मैं देते देते थक जाऊंगा, आप लेते लेते थक जाओगे, मैं देते देते नहीं थकूंगा। उनको लग रहा था कि बदले में वोटर वोट देते देते थकेगा नहीं, लेकिन वोटर हाफने लगा बीच में ही, पूरी झोली भी नहीं भरी, आधी झोली कांग्रेस के बीजेपी के मुकाबले आधी झोली ही भरी। ये इंटरेस्टिंग है।
विजय जी एक और खबर ने कह दिया है ये कि ये लोगों का प्यार है कि वो मुझे मुख्यमंत्री देखना चाहते हैं, लेकिन फैसला संसदीय बोर्ड को करना है। इस तरह का इंडिकेशन, मतलब बीजेपी में शुरू हो गई है नेताओं के अपने लेवल पर मुख्यमंत्री बनने की रेस, क्योंकि अब उन्हें यह लग रहा है कि वो कहीं ना कहीं कंफर्ट मेजॉरिटी की तरफ बढ़ चले हैं और कोई व्यवधान नहीं होगा कि अब यहां से खुलकर वसुंधरा के सामने आ जाया जाए। तभी वो खुलकर कैमरे पर इंटरव्यू दे रही हैं, राजस्थान तक को तो कह रही हैं कि ठीक है, बधाई है, बहुत शुक्रिया, उनका बहुत प्यार लाड दुलार, जो लोग मुझे मुख्यमंत्री देखना चाहते हैं, मेरे जो उत्साही समर्थक हैं, लेकिन फैसला आगे संसदीय बोर्ड करेगी। आमतौर पर इस तरह से तो लोग स्वीकारते भी नहीं है, लेकिन इस तरह की स्वीकृति बताती है कि खेल खुल चुका है, मैदान खुला हुआ है अब राजस्थान में बीजेपी के लिए।
राजनीतिक अपरिपक्वता का भी सबूत है। मुझे लगता है कि आमतौर पर लोग ऐसी बातें कहते नहीं है, सब कहते हैं मैं तो मुख्यमंत्री की रेस में हूं ही नहीं, मैं तो मुख्यमंत्री बनना ही नहीं चाहता, लेकिन अंदर से वो चाह रहे होते हैं मुख्यमंत्री बनना और आला कमान पर सबको छोड़ देना। तो मुझे लगता है दिया कुमारी थोड़ा अति उत्साह में, या लोगों ने बार बार नारे लग रहे होंगे, अभी जीत का उत्साह है कि अब देखिए वो पहली बार सवाई माधोपुर में उनको वसुंधरा लेकर आई थी, वहां से उन्होंने किरोड़ी लाल मीणा को चुनाव हराया, फिर पार्टी ने कहा लोकसभा चुनाव लड़ो और राजसमंद जैसी अनजान सीट से जाकर लड़ो, वहां जाकर वो लड़ी, वहां जाकर वो चुनाव जीती, और यहाँ विद्याधर नगर तो सबसे सुरक्षित सीट है ही। तो मुझे लगता है थोड़ा बयान देने में थोड़ी सी समझदारी का परिचय उनको देना चाहिए था, क्योंकि जैसे ही आपने अपनी महत्वाकांक्षा जाहिर कर दी या आपके समर्थकों ने आपका नाम जोर शोर से लेना शुरू कर दिया, वैसे ही बीजेपी आला कमान की नजर में फिर आपके नंबर घटने शुरू हो जाते हैं।
नहीं बिल्कुल। और बता दें कि इस वक्त की बड़ी खबर है, बीजेपी की उम्मीदवार दिया कुमारी ने बहुत बड़ा बयान दिया है। उन्होंने कहा है कि लोग मुझे मुख्यमंत्री देखना चाहते हैं, इसके लिए उनका बहुत आभार, बधाई, लेकिन संसदीय बोर्ड को फैसला करना है। आंकड़े जो जिस तरह के हैं वो बताते हुए कि बीजेपी एक कंफर्टेबल जीत की तरफ लगातार कुछ देर से अब ये आंकड़े स्टैग्नेंट होते हुए, यानी कि कांग्रेस 60, 64, 65 के आसपास, बीजेपी 119, 120 के आसपास रह रही है। अगर विजय जी यहां से ये आंकड़े हम अगर लगा लें, अभी हम वक्त हो चुका है 12:25 पर, मुझे लगता है कि अगर आधे घंटे ये आंकड़े टैली में लगे रह जाते हैं इसी तरीके से बिना कोई खास बदलाव के, तो फिर नतीजे भी इसी दिशा में हो जाएंगे।
हाँ बिल्कुल। और इसमें आप देखिए कि निर्दलियों की संख्या थोड़ी कम हो सकती है, निर्दलीय के खाते से कुछ सीटें बीजेपी के खाते में जा सकती हैं, क्योंकि बीजेपी का पोल परसेंटेज, वोटिंग परसेंटेज भी लगातार बढ़ रहा है और कांग्रेस का वोट परसेंटेज लगातार घट रहा है, जो हम पिछले 2 घंटे से देख रहे हैं। तो ट्रेंड तो साफ बता रहे हैं कि बीजेपी अगर कांग्रेस की फंसी हुई सीटों को भी जीत जाती है तो कोई हैरानी नहीं कि बीजेपी 120 का आंकड़ा आसानी से पार कर जाए, ऐसी स्थितियां भी लग रही है। लेकिन बीजेपी 115 से नीचे जाती हुई तो दिख ही नहीं रही बिल्कुल इस समय, मोटे तौर पर कहा जा सकता है।
हो जाता है कि बीजेपी अपने स्कीम्स लेकर आती है, वेलफेयर स्कीम्स लेकर आती है। विजय जी अपने वेलफेयर स्कीम लेकर आती है बीजेपी, और बीजेपी को अच्छा मैंडेट मिल जाता है मध्य प्रदेश में। लेकिन कांग्रेस ऐसे ही वेलफेयर स्कीम लेके बैठी रह गई राजस्थान से लेकर छत्तीसगढ़ तक। लेकिन इसका नतीजा देखिए कि चुनाव पलट गया है, फंसा हुआ चुनाव है। राजस्थान में तो मोरोवर दिख रहा है कि कांग्रेस पिछड़ गई, खत्म है। छत्तीसगढ़ में भी यही दिख रहा है कि कांग्रेस का पासा पलट गया है और बीजेपी सत्ता में आ रही है। तो ये तो बहुत सरप्राइज एंड शॉक है एक तरह से। ये लोग अपने वेलफेयर स्कीम्स को भी नहीं भुना पाए। विजय जी,
ये आप सही कह रहे हैं। देखिए, कोई भी पार्टी के अंदर सरकार योजनाएं लेकर आती है और संगठन उनका प्रचार प्रसार करता है, और सरकार अपने प्रशासनिक अधिकारियों की मदद से, अपने मंत्रियों की मदद से मॉनिटरिंग करती है, इवैल्यूएट करती है, उसका इवैल्यूएशन करती है, उसकी जांच करती है कि योजनाओं में खामियां तो नहीं है। लेकिन सिर्फ योजनाएं चलाने से, योजनाओं की घोषणा कर देने से, बड़े बड़े विज्ञापन छापने से आप चुनाव नहीं जीत सकते, ये सही बात है। आपको उनको जनता तक पहुंचाना पड़ेगा, जनता को तक संगठन पहुंचाएगा, कार्यकर्ता पहुंचाएगा। लेकिन अगर आप संगठन में रिक्तियां रखते हैं, खाली पद रखते हैं, पदों को भरते नहीं है और पावर शेयरिंग कार्यकर्ताओं के बीच में नहीं होती, तो फिर आप कहीं ना कहीं मात खा जाते हैं। सिर्फ अखबारों में या टेलीविजन चैनलों में बड़ा बड़ा विज्ञापन देखकर जनता शायद उस रूप में प्रभावित नहीं होती जितना इंटरैक्शन से प्रभावित होती है। जैसे महंगाई राहत शिविर अशोक गहलोत ने चलाए, तो वो खुद मॉनिटरिंग के लिए जाते थे, रोज सुबह शाम थे, दौड़ते भागते रहते थे, 3-3, 4-4 विधानसभा क्षेत्र कवर करते थे जब तक कि उनके पैर नहीं टूटा था, प्लास्टर नहीं चढ़ा था। तो उसका एक सकारात्मक असर देख रहे थे हम, और उससे सर्ज कर रही थी कांग्रेस। लेकिन उसके बाद बीजेपी ने अपने चुनाव प्रचार को थोड़ा आक्रामक किया, उसमें थोड़ा धर्म का तड़का लगाया, जिसकी काट कांग्रेस नहीं ढूंढ पाई, और बीजेपी कांग्रेस पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त होगी कि हमने इतना कुछ दिया है तो बदले में हमें मिल ही जाएगा। जैसा मोदी जी के लाभार्थी है, ऐसे हमारे लाभार्थी क्यों नहीं हमें वोट देंगे, अगर मोदी जी के लाभार्थी उनको वोट देते हैं। लेकिन वहां वो गच्चा खा गए। थोड़ी पारदर्शिता, थोड़ा भ्रष्टाचार कम हो, और बेनिफिशरीज से ज्यादा नॉन बेनिफिशरीज कभी कभी किसी योजना के तहत हो जाते हैं। जैसे महिला स्मार्टफोन योजना 1,40,00,000 को देना था, सरकार का दावा है 40 लाख को दिए, बीजेपी का दावा है 14 या 15 लाख को दिए। तो एक बड़ी संख्या में महिलाओं को मिला, लेकिन उससे कहीं ज्यादा बड़ी संख्या में महिलाओं को नहीं मिला। तो जिनको नहीं मिला उनका गुस्सा सामने था। वो इस बात पर आश्वस्त नहीं हो रही थी कि अशोक गहलोत की सरकार को इसलिए वोट दे दें क्योंकि वो वापस आई सत्ता में तो स्मार्टफोन देगी, बीजेपी की सरकार स्मार्टफोन देना बंद कर देगी। ये धारणा भी काम करती तो वो मिल जाता। इसके मुकाबले शिवराज सिंह ने लाडली बहना योजना के तहत 1200 रुपया सीधा अकाउंट में डाल दिया, आपको जो करना है करो, ये बहनों, मेरी प्यारी बहनों, ये लो 1250 रुपए। और महिलाएं ज्यादा वफादार होती है, मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं। वो उन्होंने बदले में वोट दिया, भरपूर वोट दिया। ऐसा लग रहा है कि आगे से महिला ओरिएंटेड स्कीम लानी है। एक दूसरा, इनडायरेक्ट रूप से फायदा दिलाने की जगह डायरेक्ट पैसा दे देना, ये एक फॉर्मूला हो सकता है क्या? ये दिलचस्प है।
बिल्कुल विजय जी, लेकिन
हमने ये भी देखा काफी रैलियां सभाएं हुई, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी खुद आते हैं और तकरीबन 122 जो है विधानसभा कवर करते हैं, गहलोत साहब 50 करते हैं। तो क्या इसका भी बड़ा असर जो है इन नंबर्स पर देखने को मिल रहा है? क्या ये भी एक फैक्टर हो सकता है?
क्यूमुलेटिव फैक्टर है, कई सारे फैक्टर काम किए, लेकिन बीजेपी के अपने जो प्रचार के बजाय जो कांग्रेस में खामियां थी, उसका कांग्रेस को मुझे लगता है ज्यादा खामियाजा उठाना पड़ा। जैसे कि योजनाओं में जो खामियां थी उनको दूर ना करना, जैसे कि कुल मिलाकर हम कह सकते हैं कि सचिन पायलट और अशोक गहलोत के बीच का झगड़ा नहीं सुलझना, उससे नैरेटिव गलत किया। और जैसे हम कह सकते हैं कि एंटी इनकम्बेंसी विधायकों की वो योजनाओं पर भारी पड़ गई।
बिल्कुल विजय जी, और लगातार जो हम बता रहे हैं कि किस तरह से ये तस्वीरें बदल रही हैं, आप हमारे साथ बने रहिएगा। जिस तरह से ये बीजेपी का आंकड़ा है 116 का, कांग्रेस 66, अदर 17, यानी कि एक तरह से बीजेपी की सरकार अब लगभग बननी तय होती जा रही है। और इन सब के बीच बड़ी खबर, बीजेपी में मुख्यमंत्री पद के लिए रेस शुरू। बीजेपी में मुख्यमंत्री पद के लिए दावेदारी शुरू हो गई है। पहली दावेदारी दिया कुमारी की तरफ से। सीएम की रेस में दिया कुमारी ने बयान दे दिया है, यानी कि वसुंधरा राजे को सीधी टक्कर, सीधी चुनौती वसुंधरा राजे के सामने दिया कुमारी ने बड़ा दाव ठोक दिया है कि राजस्थान के चुनाव में बीजेपी की जीत के बाद दिया कुमारी का बहुत बड़ा ऐलान। सीएम की रेस में दिया कुमारी ने बहुत बड़ा बयान दे दिया है। उन्होंने कहा है कि लोग उन्हें मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पर देखना चाहते हैं। तो सवाल है कि वसुंधरा राजे का क्या पत्ता साफ, और सवाल ये भी कि कौन बनेगा मुख्यमंत्री।
बिल्कुल ऋषि जो है, और इसी कतार में बहुत सारे नाम जो है वो आना शुरू हो चुके हैं। वसुंधरा राजे का नाम सबसे ज्यादा टॉप पर है, तो वही दूसरे नाम के तौर पर दिया कुमारी को देखा जा रहा है। तो वही तीसरे नाम की मैं बात करूं तो बाबा बालकनाथ भी क्या हो सकते हैं मुख्यमंत्री, क्योंकि जो आंकड़ा आप देख रहे हैं लगातार बीजेपी को जीत की तरफ बढ़ाता हुआ 115, और ऐसे में तीसरे नंबर पर बाबा बालकनाथ, और चौथा नंबर भी शायद आपको हैरान कर सकता है। जी हाँ, चौथा नाम है गजेंद्र सिंह शेखावत, कैबिनेट मंत्री, जल संसाधन, शक्ति मंत्री, और गहलोत जी के गढ़ में जहां पर पहले चर्चाएं थी कि गहलोत और गजेंद्र होंगे आमने सामने, लेकिन अब उनका नाम भी जो है सीएम रेस में आ रहा है चौथे नंबर पर। विजय जी आपसे रिएक्शन लूंगी। पहला नंबर जो है वसुंधरा राजे का कतार में, दूसरा दिया कुमारी, तीसरा बाबा बालकनाथ, और चौथे नाम के तौर पर गजेंद्र साहब का भी नाम इस कतार में आ रहा है। क्या कहेंगे, रिएक्शन?
एक्शन देने से पहले आपको एक नई जानकारी दे दूं कि हनुमान बेनीवाल जो लगातार पीछे चल रहे थे, अब वो खींवसर से आगे हो गए हैं। और दूसरी जानकारी एक छोटी सी दे दूं, फिर आपके सवाल का जवाब देता हूं, कि राजेंद्र राठौड़ अब 10,000 वोटों से पीछे हो गया है। तो मुख्यमंत्री की दौड़ में कुछ नाम आ रहे हैं, और कुछ नाम जो मुख्यमंत्री की रेस में शामिल थे, जो वो चुनाव ही हारते हुए दिख रहे हैं। तो एक कहानी तो ये है। दूसरा देखिए, मैं बार बार कह चुका हूं, उत्तर भारत में बीजेपी अपने दम पर 4-5 राज्यों में है। अब शिवराज सिंह को मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जाता है नहीं, ये पता नहीं मुझे, लेकिन पुष्कर सिंह धामी राजपूत हैं, उत्तराखंड के मुख्यमंत्री। योगी आदित्यनाथ राजपूत हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री। ऐसे में राजस्थान में भी कोई राजपूत मुख्यमंत्री हो जाएगा या सवर्ण जाति का मुख्यमंत्री हो जाएगा, मुझे थोड़ा सा शक होता है इसमें। उनको दूसरे रूप में एडजस्ट किया जा सकता है, लेकिन मुख्यमंत्री बना दिया जाएगा, मुझे थोड़ा शक होता है। मैं तो बार बार कहूंगा कि वैसे तो मोदी जी कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, अपनी जेब से भी कोई भी नाम निकालेंगे, और ऐसा मुख्यमंत्री होगा जो आला कमान के कहने पर
विजय जी
चले।
कही थी आंकड़ों वाली, जो आंकड़ों वाली बात कही थी विजय जी, थोड़ी तस्वीर बदलती हुई इस वक्त बीजेपी 119 से गिरकर 110 पर, कांग्रेस 72 पर पहुंची है। आंकड़े बदलते हुए बड़ी तेजी से बीजेपी 110 111 पर आ गई है, 7-8 सीटें नीचे आई है बीजेपी, कांग्रेस 72-73 सीटों पर जाती हुई। तो एक तरह से थोड़ा बहुत मामला यहां भी फाइट का बनता हुआ, एक तरफ जहां पूरी तरह से बीजेपी ने छत्तीसगढ़ का चुनाव पलट दिया, मध्य प्रदेश का चुनाव पलट दिया, राजस्थान में जिस तरह की बातें हो रही थी वो सारी बातें खारिज करके बीजेपी ने चुनाव पलट दिया। और अब बीजेपी जो है 119 से घटकर 110 पर आई है, कांग्रेस 72 पर। वो जो 200-500 वाला मामला चल रहा है उसमें विजय जी कुछ कुछ खेल होता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है।
आगे पीछे तेजी से हो रहा है, जैसा कि जो किशन पोल की सीट थी उसमें मैंने जब बताया था आपको, तो बीजेपी के जो उम्मीदवार थे वो करीब 1,500-2,000 वोट से आगे चल रहे थे। अब बीजेपी कांग्रेस के उम्मीदवार वहां से 2,500 वोट से आगे हो गए हैं। तो ये ऊपर नीचे कुछ चीजें सीटें हो रही हैं। तो जैसे जैसे ईवीएम खुल रही है, जिस इलाके की ईवीएम खुल रही है उस इलाके के हिसाब से घटत बढ़त हो रही है। तो इसमें धड़कने बढ़ाने के लिए ठीक है, लेकिन अंतिम नतीजा क्या निकलेगा इसके लिए तो हमें थोड़ा इंतजार करना पड़ेगा। लेकिन कांग्रेस 100 छू जाएगी, ये असंभव हो गया है, ये तो असंभव हो गया है। और बीजेपी 100 से नीचे आ जाएगी, ये भी करीब करीब असंभव हो गया है। तो स्वाभाविक तौर पर इसके साथ साथ वसुंधरा की उम्मीदें भी धराशायी हो जाएंगी। अगर 105, 110, 115, 117 बीजेपी आती है तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि आमतौर पर, जैसा कि यहाँ पॉलिटिकल पंडित भी कह रहे हैं, कि वसुंधरा का नंबर लग सकता है।
जी बिल्कुल विजय जी, लेकिन राजस्थान की पहली
मुख्यमंत्री रह चुकी है, ऐसे में क्या लगता है जो ये नतीजों की तस्वीर, अभी हालांकि आंकड़े ऊपर नीचे हो रहे हैं, कांग्रेस जो है बढ़कर 72 पहुंच चुकी है, बीजेपी 111 पर थोड़ा और गिर चुकी है। दो सवाल रहेंगे, क्या कांग्रेस के लिए थोड़ी भी उम्मीदें बची है, क्योंकि आंकड़े लगातार बढ़ रहे हैं, घट रहे हैं, 63 से सीधा 72 पर आ गई है कांग्रेस, बीजेपी के आंकड़े गिरे 111 पर आ गई है। और वसुंधरा फैक्टर की जो आपने बात कही है, तो क्या लगता है बीजेपी हाईकमान के लिए वसुंधरा उतनी जरूरी नहीं है, जिस तरीके से नतीजे आ रहे हैं कि भाई आप है आप नहीं है तो भी काम चल रहा है, क्या इस तरह का भी कोई मैसेज जा रहा है? आप बेहतर तरीके से बता पाएंगे।
2018 में जब बीजेपी की हार हुई थी, तभी मुख्यमंत्री रमन सिंह को, शिवराज सिंह चौहान को और वसुंधरा राजे को दिल्ली बुला लिया गया था, उपाध्यक्ष बना दिया गया था पार्टी का। और उनका बीजेपी का ख्याल था कि हम नया नेतृत्व इन राज्यों में करेंगे। नया नेतृत्व बीजेपी खोज नहीं पाई। शिवराज सिंह की वापसी हो गई ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया के कारण। डॉक्टर रमन सिंह 4 साल हाशिए पर रहे, उनको बीजेपी ने अचानक झाड़ पोंछ कर सामने ला दिया क्योंकि मजबूरी थी। लेकिन राजस्थान में बीजेपी के पास ऐसी कोई मजबूरी नहीं थी। बीजेपी शुरू से मानकर चल रही थी कि विद और विदाउट वसुंधरा चुनाव निकाला जा सकता है। और वसुंधरा के आगे सुना था कि कई बार ये पैकेज भी रखा गया कि आप दिल्ली आ जाइए, आपके बेटे को विधानसभा चुनाव लड़ाते हैं हम, और बीजेपी जीत गई तो अच्छा मंत्रालय दिया जाएगा, और आप मोदी जी 2024 में तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे तो केंद्र में आपको अच्छा मंत्रालय दिया जाएगा। लेकिन वसुंधरा राजस्थान छोड़ने के लिए तैयार नहीं थी, और बीजेपी ने अपनी तरफ से कोई नया यंग नेतृत्व सामने खुलकर नहीं भी रखा। और ऐसे में बीजेपी अब बड़ा बीच का रास्ता निकालते हुए सामूहिक नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ने का, कमल का फूल को सामने रखकर चुनाव लड़ने की उन्होंने स्ट्रेटेजी अपनाई कि वसुंधरा को नाराज भी नहीं किया जाए, लेकिन जब राज देने की बारी आएगी तो फिर राज भी ना दिया जाए। अभी तक तो कहानी ये नजर आ रही है।
बिल्कुल विजय जी, लेकिन आप वसुंधरा राजे का
बीजेपी सरकार बनाती है और वसुंधरा राजे को सीएम की रेस से बाहर कर दिया जाता है, तो उनका भविष्य क्या होगा या उनका अगला कदम क्या हो सकता है?
बेहतर बता सकती हैं, क्योंकि अभी लोकसभा चुनाव भी है और बीजेपी नहीं चाहती कि 25 में से 2, 4, 5 सीटें भी उसकी कम हो। ऐसे में अब ये देखना दिलचस्प होगा कि वो केंद्र की राजनीति करती हैं। पहली बात तो ये है कि ये तो हमारी कयास है कि मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनाया जाएगा। हो सकता है मोदी जी को लगे कि 2025 तक चीजों को छेड़ा नहीं जाए, कम से कम 2024 के लोकसभा चुनाव तक चीजों को छेड़ा नहीं जाए 25 सीटों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, तो हो सकता है उनकी ताजपोशी भी हो जाए। कुछ कहा नहीं जा सकता, लेकिन जैसे अब तक संकेत मिलते रहे हैं, जैसा उनके साथ व्यवहार किया जाता रहा है, उस हिसाब से तो मतलब अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं ना, राइटिंग इज क्लियर ऑन द वॉल।
जी जी
लगातार हम आंकड़े भी आपको बताते जा रहे। बीजेपी अब 112 पार, कांग्रेस के खाते में 71 और अदर के खाते में जाती हुई 16 सीटें। लगातार आंकड़ों में बदलाव देखने को मिल रहा है, लेकिन बीजेपी लगातार जीत की दिशा में अपने कदम बढ़ाते हुए। और इस बीच दिया कुमारी का बयान हैरान कर देने वाला है कि आप इतना प्यार दे रहे मुख्यमंत्री की रेस में, मान ले, लेकिन वो उसके लिए शुक्रिया करती है, लेकिन जो है फैसला सब कुछ ऊपर से तय होगा। और ऊपर के फैसले में क्या है? शेखावत साहब है, या फिर वसुंधरा राजे है, या फिर दिया कुमारी है, या फिर बाबा बालकनाथ होंगे। विजय जी, लेकिन जब चारों नाम आपके सामने है, सबसे ज्यादा मजबूत जो है संभावना इन चार में से किसकी बताई जा रही है? क्या लगता है, आपका विश्लेषण क्या कुछ कहता है?
देखिए, मैं तो आपसे बार बार कह रहा हूं कि मुझे लगता है कि मोदी जी दलित कार्ड या ओबीसी कार्ड, यानी दलित या ओबीसी वर्ग में से किसी को मुख्यमंत्री बनाना चाहेंगे 2024 के लोकसभा चुनाव को देखते हुए। और उससे ज्यादा इंडिया नाम का जो पॉलिटिकल फ्रंट है, वो जिस ढंग से दलित कार्ड, ओबीसी कार्ड, जातीय जनगणना की बात कर रहा है, उसकी काट के रूप में मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है।
जी, और साथ ही यदि हम कांग्रेस के एस्पेक्ट से भी समझे, हालांकि
जीत की तरफ बहुत मुश्किल है। और चलिए हमारे सहयोगी जो है मोहित जो है वो हमारे पास में आ चुके हैं। विजय जी, हमारे साथ में जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। कुछ ही देर में फिर से आपसे जो है मुलाकात करूंगी। और लगातार हम अपडेट आपको दे रहे हैं कि बीजेपी 112 पार, कांग्रेस 71 पार और अदर के खाते में जाती हुई 16 सीटें। क्या बीजेपी जीत की हैट्रिक लगाने को तैयार है? और फिलहाल जो है इस लाइव में इतना ही। कुछ ही देर में एक नई अपडेट के साथ मैं फिर से हाजिर होंगे, तो दीजिए इजाजत।
बोरो प्लस लड़कियों को शिक्षा देता है और परिवार में खुशियां लाता है। बोरो प्लस देश की खुशियों के लिए।
We have worked unitedly for this election. Our central leadership has been the one that has powered us, and most of all, it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi that has resulted.
कांग्रेस को क्या कहेंगे? कांग्रेस का जो इतना कॉन्फिडेंस।
कांग्रेस के प्रति मेरी कोई दुर्भावना नहीं। जितनी भी बद्दुआ उन्होंने दी मुझे पिछले 3 वर्षों में, मैंने स्वागत किया। मेरे तरफ से मेरे दिल में उनके प्रति केवल अच्छी भाव है और शुभकामनाएं है। मैं किसी के प्रति बैर नहीं रखता। मेरी शुभकामनाएं, जीत में भी मैं उनको शुभकामनाएं देता।
ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया, you know, many
they're speaking to India today. Chetan wants to make a quick point. I just want to say that it's a bit sad, isn't it? Like in political terms, he's a talent. I mean, he's got the branding, he's got the legacy, he's got a region of Madhya Pradesh where he has a connect. And but it shows how bad that talent management is. Yeah, they just let him so go. Bad that you let your best man go. And if they had just appointed, let us say for 2 years even, and then the people of Madhya Pradesh may have said, well, he's young, let's give him a chance. I mean, they lost 2 governments because of that, right? The previous one also. Let's listen to Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
नड्डा जी का हमें मार्गदर्शन मिला। मैं केंद्र को प्रणाम करता हूं। फिर हमने पूरे चुनाव को पूरी ताकत से सामूहिक नेतृत्व में लड़ा। हमारे प्रदेश अध्यक्ष वीडी शर्मा जी और संगठन के बाकी सारे कार्यकर्ता भी काम में लगे। और सबसे बड़ी एक बात और है कि डबल इंजन की सरकार, नरेंद्र मोदी जी का आशीर्वाद सदैव मध्य प्रदेश को मिला। तो केंद्र सरकार की योजनाओं का भी आदर्श क्रियान्वयन हमने मध्य प्रदेश में किया। और मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने इतने वर्षों में, चाहे सड़क हो, बिजली हो, पानी हो, शिक्षा हो, स्वास्थ्य हो, सिंचाई हो, कोई भी क्षेत्र ऐसा नहीं छोड़ा जिसमें बेहतर काम ना किया हो। ये एक दिन में परिणाम नहीं आता, लगातार बेहतर काम करने के कारण परिणाम आता है। और
Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's led the BJP to a historic re-election after being in power for 4 terms, to have a 163 tally out of 230. This is nothing short of an electoral miracle, because you've got anti-incumbency building up all this while. To counter it, Rajdeep, is quite a phenomenal achievement.
And I think you've got to look at Shivraj Singh Chauhan and his persona. You know, a 5-time Chief Minister of North India is not easy. These are turbulent states.
It's a very big state.
It's a big state. It's a turbulent state to stay on in power. And look at how he came into power. In 2003, the BJP won Madhya Pradesh by a comprehensive measure. What did they do? They edged out their whole old guard. Sundarlal Patwa, Kailash Joshi, all were pushed. They brought in Uma Bharti. She didn't succeed in governance. They brought in the old guard in the form of Babulal Gaur. He didn't succeed. And then they took a gamble with a much younger leader, close to Uma Bharti, Yuva Morcha leader, but made him the chief minister. And over time, Shivraj showed that he's a durable leader, able to take people along. And that's his biggest strength. There is space in Indian politics for that old-style consensual leader. There's space for Modi, who's this charismatic figure. No one will call Shivraj charismatic, but Mamaji has a connect which is very, very
also,
personal.
make no mistake, it also shows how the likes of Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh have botched this up in quite an epic fashion for the Congress. Even the BJP's internal polls were showing a tougher fight till recently. The BJP pulling off a historic victory, snatching a massive victory from the jaws of a possible defeat in Madhya Pradesh and in Chhattisgarh. I want to go across to Amit Malviya, National IT Cell Chief of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP dancing to victory in Madhya Pradesh, looking extremely strong in Rajasthan, and also now in Chhattisgarh in a very comfortable lead. If there was any question about what would happen in a BJP-Congress duel, I think you've smashed the Congress to smithereens in this election. Mr. Malviya, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, Rahul. I think this is a win for Prime Minister Modi's leadership. Modi ki guarantee, as he said in these state elections, particularly the Hindi heartland belt. And I think no other leader today, other than Prime Minister Modi, has a vision for this country to see a developed India by 2047. And that is what you see in action. He has delivered everything that he's promised. His credibility, the trust people have in him is what is driving the BJP to success in these 3 Hindi heartland states. The sweetest victory.
Would I be right though, Amit Malviya? Would I be right, sir? First of all, congratulations. It's a huge day. Would I be right in saying there's a big difference now between the Hindi heartland, where you're a dominant party, where Mr. Modi is larger than life, and South India, where you would say that the Congress is the principal national party? Am I right? Or is that an exaggeration, you think?
Let me finish my point, Rajdeep. I will come to the question on Southern India and Telangana as well. The important issue that I wanted to bring to your notice is that the Congress lost power both in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, the 2 states where they were in power for the last 5 years. It is therefore quite obvious that the Congress does not know how to govern. The Congress does not know how to retain power after being in office. Perhaps it's a lesson for the chief ministers in these 2 states that running behind the Gandhis can secure you your job for 5 years, but it's not a guarantee for re-election. On the contrary, you have the BJP, which has won after 20 years again, barring a brief period of 2 years when the Congress was in power. It's been BJP all the way. It is what governance does. It is what good governance is all about, and governments do get elected on governance. That is the message that is coming through. Coming to Southern India and Telangana in particular, let's be very clear that this is a mandate against the KCR government. It is not a mandate for the Congress. Similarly, in Karnataka also, the mandate was against the incumbent government. It was not for the Congress. So let's not make the mistake of assuming that the Congress is gaining ground in Southern India. It is the default.
Am I to understand, therefore, from what you are saying, that
people
are you saying, Amit Malviya, that 2024 are you saying, Amit, then for you 2024 is a done deal? Given what's happened, the fact that you won 3 big states and you've taken 2 of them away from the Congress, do you believe therefore 2024 is a done deal now?
Look, we do not take any election as granted. We are going to work very, very hard for 2024. We are going to go to the people asking for a third term for Prime Minister Modi. And that is how we fight all elections. We don't take the electorate for granted. We've never done it. And we never leave any election to chance. And 2024 is another election after these 5 states are done with. We will look at 2024 afresh as a new battle for the BJP. And at the end of the day, we have so much to talk about. And Prime Minister Modi has ensured that India today is looked up to in the world order. It is doing exceptionally well as far as the economy is concerned. Unemployment is at lowest ever. Things are on the right track. We are on path to being the 3rd largest economy by 25, 26. So there is a lot that is riding on the governance that Mr. Modi has delivered. We are going to talk about all this to the people of this country and, of course, hope that we will win the mandate. And let me tell you that the BJP will do exceptionally well in Lok Sabha in both Karnataka and Telangana. Take my word for it, because every time I kept telling your team that we are winning Chhattisgarh, there weren't too many takers. I'm telling you again, we will do exceptionally well in Lok Sabha and Telangana and in Karnataka. And that is what the truth of what is on the ground is.
Talk to us for a moment, Mr. Malviya, about how the BJP turned it around in Chhattisgarh and in Madhya Pradesh, where the party's own internal surveys were predicting a much tougher fight. In Madhya Pradesh, some of them showing the Congress in the lead in Chhattisgarh till a few weeks before polling. From there, to turn it around, the fact that the Home Minister himself picking the tough states of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, camping, going down on every seat, trying to figure out how to win, and probably the Congress taking their position a bit for granted, thinking they had it in the bag even before the votes had happened.
Now, let me start with Madhya Pradesh first. Unfortunately, the popular discourse in media is often what people in the media want to see and not what is on the ground. Having said that, when you are in power for 20 years, there is obviously some element of fatigue, if not anti-incumbency, and that was also the case in Madhya Pradesh. But the BJP leadership put its head down, looked at everything that was coming to them as feedback, made the requisite changes in the strategy. We fielded heavyweights across the state. Some people thought this was a sign of lack of confidence in the local representative. That wasn't the case. We look at what is coming to us and you decide on the basis of that, which is exactly what the BJP did. Of course, Mr. Shah was on the ground. He was minutely looking at every region. In fact, he traveled to every sambhag of the BJP in Madhya Pradesh and held meetings with party workers. That is what the commitment was, really down to the lowest level. And you see the results. I mean, the BJP has massively won Madhya Pradesh. Coming to Chhattisgarh,
one big question, Amit.
Answers
no one gave the BJP a chance till.
Go ahead.
No one gave BJP a chance in Chhattisgarh 3 months ago. But if I can take you back to the first rally that Prime Minister Modi held in Chhattisgarh, we realized that there was a great deal of spark in his rally, and there were people who were flocking to it in very large numbers. And that made us think about the undercurrent, the corruption, the lack of governance, the apathy towards farmers, the liquor scam which destroyed families in Chhattisgarh. It was all there. There was huge anti-incumbency against Baghel. He may have been popular with the section of the media in Delhi, but he had not delivered on ground. And we started building on it. We realized that the people did not vote us out 5 years ago because they were unhappy with governance, because after all, we had been in power for 15 years after Chhattisgarh was formed. It was because we could not deliver on the bonus on the paddy is the reason why we got voted out. We made good that. We announced that as part of our manifesto. We ensured that we met people's expectations, and because of the trust that people have in Prime Minister Modi's leadership, in the BJP, that they voted for us the way they have. And Chhattisgarh is, like I said again, the sweetest victory because nobody gave us a chance. But the party, the leadership, our cadres, and of course the people of Chhattisgarh have entrusted the BJP again with a mandate, and we are extremely grateful for that.
Are you seeing therefore a generational change now in these states? There's much speculation. Kaun banega Mukhyamantri? Does Shivraj Singh Chauhan stay on? Does Vasundhara Raje come back? Do you find a new face for Raman Singh in Chhattisgarh? Is the BJP seeing these elections as a moment for generational change?
Look, I don't think it's a matter of discussion in a television studio. It is something that the party's parliamentary board will deliberate upon, and we'll take a decision depending on what the mandate is all about. It needs quite a deal of deliberation, and we will go through it. And we will come up with the best possible alternative.
What's your sense? Has the time come that you don't make the same mistakes the Congress makes? Will you all bring in generational change?
Rajdeep, allow us to decide who our chief minister should be, and my sense is really not of much consequence here.
On another note, Mr. Malviya, there were lots of laddus coming to the Congress office this morning at 7 o'clock. I was told 200 kilograms of laddu. Are you sending them message कि भाई हमें भेज दो, आपके तो किसी काम का नहीं है?
Well, I think I don't know about the laddus, but one thing is quite clear. If the Congress thinks that it is their ordained right to rule in this country, then it is not the case anymore. If they persist on continuing with Rahul Gandhi's leadership, they will face lot many more disasters in the days ahead. You should perhaps ask the Congress spokesperson, how many days did Rahul Gandhi spend in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan as part of his Bharat Jodo Yatra? You speak about marginalization of leaders. Mr. Kharge, a Dalit president that the Congress claims to have put in the job, his pictures went missing from Rajasthan advertisements. I mean, is he the president of the Congress party, or is he a rubber stamp president of the Congress party? I mean, and what is Rahul Gandhi's credibility to be the face of the Congress party and their campaign? He could not even win Amethi. He had to go to Wayanad to secure himself a seat in the parliament. But if they are not willing to look beyond the Gandhi family, good luck to them. I mean, I hope Rahul Gandhi sticks around for as long as he can, but that's not the kind of leadership people of India are looking at. And it is quite obvious now that Rahul Gandhi, and under his leadership, the Congress has probably lost now 55 elections, but he still continues as their tallest leader. So it's for them to decide, not for me to say. And they can
No,
keep
but
the laddus.
you have no great love for Rahul. You make an interesting point. You believe in a way that Rahul Gandhi still remains your biggest asset.
No, I don't think Rahul Gandhi remains our biggest asset. He is certainly a big catch for the Congress because they can't seem to look beyond him. And if they persist with him, then the people of India have already given their mandate not once but several times. So, I mean, it's not for me to say whether he's an asset or not. It's for the Congress to decide, and it's for the people of India to reject him again and again, like they have done for the last 55 elections.
Can I get a nice smile out of you, Amit Malviya? We've had very fractious interactions on counting day. Today is a day for you to smile. You've got to smile. Give us a nice Amit Malviya smile.
Well, Rajdeep, I am always smiling, but I have advice for you. Instead of going to Chief Minister's residence and stuffing your face with the food there, or singing melodies to Chief Minister in their private jets, if you had read the mood and reported it correctly, you will not be feeling so embarrassed today.
No, here it is. No, 1 minute. No, Mr. Malviya, you please see Neta Nagari 1 week ago. Congress to lose in Rajasthan. It's here. It's on video. Since you follow video, social media, get your team to please see the video of 10 days ago where I said, and I also said Chhattisgarh will be a tough fight. But it's not you and me, but I hope you'll watch the video, Amit.
Okay, so we'll leave it there.
I'll send it to you.
Well, Rajdeep, frankly, I think in your in your last days as journalists, you should try and restore some of your credibility, because anybody who saw your coverage thought that you were reporting what you wanted to see and not what was on the ground. I'll just leave it at that.
No, I am going to send this to you. Amit Malviya, you unfortunately, I asked you to smile. You end up saying something bitter and caustic, which is again, this is not a social media where you can pick what you want. I'm going to send it to you and to your followers. What I said on Neta Nagri exactly a week ago, who will win. Now smile nicely. I want to see a nice Amit Malviya smile.
Well, if you can get yourself to smile after the Congress's rout in 3 states, I'm certainly smiling ear to ear.
Bas. Ye hui na baat. That's what I like to see. There's a hint of a smile that you've got. Good. That's a
No,
start.
but it's a big victory. Look at how
It's a big
magnanimous.
victory. Of course it is.
And for the most part, he was being very balanced after a very big victory. I thought he'd go boom, boom, boom. He didn't. It's a big victory. I think the BJP, they're acknowledging and respecting the mandate, because if you come back to power on the back of the number of years Shivraj Singh Chauhan has been in power in Madhya Pradesh, that's a huge victory. To win Chhattisgarh in this fashion, snatch victory from the jaws of imminent defeat. Again, that's a marvel in election management. It really shows we're seeing a very unequal contest between a Congress that somehow thinks Janta Jita Degi and a BJP which is not willing to take any chances. Amit Malviya, thank you very much for joining us. Big victories in the Hindi heartland. The Congress now, and interestingly, is down to just 62. There are 119 seats. You need 60 plus to get the mandate. They were earlier at 73. From there, they've now come down to 63.
And remember, if they go below 60, as I said, it's game on.
Let me
go
just
below
show that.
60 in Telangana, it's game on.
Can I just show on the election intelligence dashboard, as I welcome Akshita Nandgopal, I want to look at Telangana and tell our viewers who are watching us in Telangana about the margin calculator for this state. In Telangana at this moment, can the Congress fall around 60? There are 38 seats at this moment where the margin between the winner and the runner-up is less than 500. BRS is leading on 13 of those, the Congress on 21. So 21 of those 65 leads at this moment are quite slender. The Congress, of course, will hope that they'll stay the way they are, but 21 of those leads very slender. Akshita Nandgopal, is the Congress celebrating, or are they just being a little calibrated to see how the final outcome really shapes up?
I don't think they seem to know that things are still a bit dicey and nothing's really concrete, Rahul, because you look at what's happening around me. There's music in the air, everyone's dancing at Congress flags. Revant Reddy is expected to come here to the Congress headquarters. He's currently on his way. So he's going to be joining all the Congress cadre here in all of their dance and song, joining in on the celebrations. There's going to be a mega celebration through the day. This evening, we understand that the entire Congress leadership here in Telangana come together. They have essentially only one reason to celebrate, which is in this state, which is in Telangana, Rahul. So they're pulling all stops here to ensure, that they put out this message that Congress has won Telangana. Telangana is theirs now. Revant Reddy will be joining this crowd here, joining the dance.
Telangana from the point of view of regions, because I think that tells you the story at the moment of Telangana. Take a look at North, which is the TRS bastion. They swept it last time. This time it's the Congress that's sweeping. And remember, this is where the BJP also has a hold in areas like Adilabad and Nizamabad, the BJP leading in 3. Take a look at Central Telangana. Here, the Congress, which was hoping to sweep the area, is finding a tougher fight. The BRS leading in 11, the Congress in 19. But the moment you go to Hyderabad, you see how the game changes. The Congress now leading in just 1, the BRS in 12, others in 3, and Oasis, whose party usually wins 7, is leading at the moment in 5. And then come to the last region, South. This is where the tsunami of sorts has taken place, the Congress overturning the results of 2018. So it is a rural tsunami, not urban, a sharp urban-rural divide in Telangana, but it puts the Congress at 64. But for safety, the Congress will need 65, will want to be 60 plus. Anything below that, and then all options open out. For now, the Congress at 64 appears relatively safe in the state of Telangana. Just to take a look at VIPs, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, we've been saying this. This is the major one in Kamareddy. At the moment, he is trailing against Revant Reddy in that critical battleground of Kamareddy. Now, Azharuddin, who was winning earlier, is trailing in Jubilee Hills. It was expected that Maganti Gopinath is a very tough candidate and he would probably come through in that state. There is no major surprise in that sense in what's happening. Etala Rajendran is trailing in both his seats. He's the BJP's face, came to it from the TRS, and he's trailing in both his seat. An important loser at the moment is the finance minister of the state, Harish Rao, nephew of KCR, who's trailing at the moment. But overall, if you look right round at the moment, it appears that the Congress is holding its own in rural Telangana, which is why it's ahead. In urban parts, it's the TRS which is holding its own. Does that, Rahul Verma, when you have such sharp rural-urban divides, TRS, even in an anti-incumbency wave, the BRS, holding its own in Hyderabad?
So it's less to do with rural-urban divide, but much more to do with Congress's structural presence in the state. Congress has been a weaker party organizationally in the Hyderabad region. Plus, there is some kind of understanding between BRS plus AIMM. So that makes Congress's chances of winning seats in the greater Hyderabad region much more difficult.
Okay. Let's go across to Yogendra Yadav, Chief of Swaraj India. He's joining us, sharp political mind. Mr. Yadav, what according to you is the big national takeaway from today's election? How would you sum up the results that we've seen so far?
Rahul, the major turnaround of the Congress in Telangana, which could have been a national story, has been overshadowed by a very major setback in the Hindi heartland. And it's a setback not just for Congress party, it's also a setback for all of us who want to see a change in this country, who want to see a political badlav at the national level. I must confess that while I can see why some of these elections became much closer than they needed to, because the real setback is that Congress could have actually won all the three. These are not impossible elections that Congress was destined to lose right in the beginning. That's why it's a setback. I must honestly confess, I do not fully understand the extent of BJP's victory in Madhya Pradesh. They are leading by 8%, closer to what your exit poll had shown. I understand it. You had anticipated it. I don't fully make sense of how a party which had almost lost the last election came back illegitimately and did not do a great job in governing in the last 4 years, against which there was a broad sentiment of badlav. That party has won with 8 percentage points. But whatever, this is a fact and one has to reckon with it. To my mind, the three big lessons, while one could always blame, and the usual tendency, at least in political analysis, unlike cricket analysis, Rajdeep would appreciate, is that in politics, whoever wins, we say that they fielded well, they bowled well, and they batted well, which normally doesn't happen. To my mind, in the case of Rajasthan, there was no anti-incumbency against the chief minister nor against the government. There was intense anti-incumbency against MLAs, which the Congress did not acknowledge and ended up rewarding them the tickets back. Also in Rajasthan, the second major factor was that Congress could have struck two simple alliances, one with CPM, the other with BAP. And to my mind, these two have cost Congress at least 15 to 20 seats so far. So it could have been a much closer election. In Madhya Pradesh, I think Congress fought organizationally a better election than they did last time. But they did not have an overall narrative, and they did not have a social strategy. In Chhattisgarh, the story is different. Again, a government against which there was no broad anti-incumbency, but which failed to translate that into a political narrative. So that is what seems to have happened. But it's a very major setback. Yeah.
Can I therefore summarize, you're giving us what you believe has happened in these three Hindi heartland states. What if I said in a single line that basically the Hindi heartland is Modi-fied? You can call it BJP-fied, Modi-fied, but that we are seeing consistently Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, now Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh across the Hindi heartland, the BJP is virtually becoming a dominant party in several parts. How do you combat a dominant party? Is that in a sense showing the weakness of the Congress or the strength of the BJP?
But may I add to it, Mr. Yadav? May I just add to that question?
Yes,
may I add to that question, Rajdeep? The sheer fact that the Congress now sees, especially in the Hindi heartland, the OBC card, caste census as a game changer going into 2024. Mr. Yadav, you've been also one of the biggest proponents of that. None of that seems to be catching on ground, at least where the Hindi heartland is concerned.
I would not call it modified, but because, you have to include what happened in Himachal Pradesh, you have to think of what happens in Bihar and so on and so forth. But the fact is that BJP is very strong in this North Indian Hindi leading up to the West India bet. In that, what should Congress do? On the OBC card, it is true that Rahul Gandhi spoke about caste census very clearly. But was this actually an election issue on the ground at all? Did the Congress candidates speak about it? Did the Congress workers even know about it? Did the Congress take this message to the OBC and SC at all? At least I did not see that on the ground.
The Congress doesn't with due regard, Mr. Yadav, the Congress doesn't seem to have a strong, viable OBC leadership. You see, the questions, we've been raising this about Bharat Jodo Yatra. You were part of that Yatra. The Congress is taking credit in South India, saying the Bharat Jodo Yatra galvanized us. But look at North India. It also went through Madhya Pradesh. It also went through Rajasthan. And it has zero impact. So you start wondering whether Rahul Gandhi is, and even in Telangana, there will be those who will say this is just an anti-incumbency vote. Nothing to do with this Bharat Jodo Yatra. So questions again over Rahul Gandhi's leadership.
Rajdeep, anti-incumbency is something which is invoked as and when a ruling party loses. The question is, why did anti-incumbency not happen 5 years ago? Why has it not affected BJP and so on? So and about the OBC leadership, let's not forget that Congress's CM in Rajasthan and in Chhattisgarh were OBCs. To my mind, the three broad lessons that I see for Congress are the following. Number one, Congress's overall national posture of its leadership is not aligned to its actual ground level political campaign. Number two, Congress's own vote base, which is the bottom of the pyramid, namely the poor, SC, ST, OBC, that is not aligned with Congress's own leadership and Congress's own policies. And number three, Congress needs to be, the third lesson is that Congress could be more harsh on dealing with people within and more liberal in dealing with people outside. This is what we saw in Rajasthan. These are three broad lessons at the national level, but indeed it is a setback. And unless some of these lessons are learned by Congress and by the opposition in general, it is much tougher than it looked this morning, the 2024
Looked at from a BJP perspective, Yogendra Yadav, would you accept that this makes the path to victory in 2024 that much easier for the BJP and for Prime Minister Modi on the back of this kind of success in the Hindi heartland? It now becomes very difficult to dislodge the BJP and prevent Prime Minister Modi from winning a third term.
If you did simple numeric calculations, you would not say that, because the fact is that BJP had swept all these states. Telangana was one state where BJP had 4 seats and was hoping to improve. So while today's verdict dashes BJP's hopes of increasing the numbers, the fact remains that Congress needed to do something to BJP's complete dominance over this region. And today's results do not affirm that hope. And therefore, the opposition really needs to think hard about its strategy.
So you're not accepting it's a done deal? You're not accepting 2024 is as close to being a done deal? Because remember 2018, the Congress won all these 3 states and yet lost. Now they've lost all these 3 states. Does it make it even more difficult for the opposition?
Difficult, yes. Done deal, no. The reason I say no is that in the South India, in a sense, it's curtains for BJP in South India as far as 2024 is concerned. In Karnataka, BJP has 25 seats. No one, not even BJP spokespersons, I hope, on this channel would say that they are going to get 25 in Karnataka. In Telangana, BJP had 4. They were hoping to increase. This was the only state where BJP could have gone up. They are not doing so. So that larger challenge still remains. But yes, if you ask me, has it got tougher? Of course, it has got tougher today. And the opposition really needs to think fresh.
We'll leave it there. We'll hope to have you back in the evening. For the time being, Yogendra Yadav, thank you very much for joining us. I want to welcome Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. She's joining us at this moment. Ravishpal Singh is in conversation with Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Bhopal. Let's listen to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's led the BJP to a historic victory in Madhya Pradesh. Here is the current chief minister, the man who hopes to be chief minister once again. Let's listen to Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद है मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान, जिनके नेतृत्व में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने एक प्रचंड जीत की ओर कदम बढ़ा दिए मध्य प्रदेश में। तो सबसे पहले शुभकामनाएं आपको जी।
धन्यवाद।
आपने एक बात कही थी भोपाल की एक सभा में, मैं फिनिक्स पक्षी हूं, आज वो साबित होता दिख रहा है।
देखिए, जो काम हमने किया है प्रदेश के विकास का, वो अद्भुत और अभूतपूर्व है। 2014 से श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री हैं, उनका प्यार, आशीर्वाद और मार्गदर्शन और जनता के मन में उनके प्रति अगाध श्रद्धा और प्रेम, डबल इंजन की सरकार के काम, उसका परिणाम आज सामने है।
सर, 3 राज्यों के खास तौर से हम बात करें, छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश। छत्तीसगढ़ और राजस्थान में तो जो सरकारें थी उनके खिलाफ गया, लेकिन मध्य प्रदेश में सरकार के साथ वोटर गया। इसके पीछे सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर
देखेंगे तो बाकी राज्यों में एंटी इनकम्बेंसी थी, मध्य प्रदेश में एंटी इनकम्बेंसी नहीं, प्रो इनकम्बेंसी थी। जनता का प्यार सड़कों पर मुझे झलकता हुआ दिखाई देता था।
आपने एक जिक्र किया था अभी 3 दिन पहले सीहोर में कि कांटे कोई नहीं है बहुमत की सरकार में, जो कांटे थे वो निकल गए। वो कैसे निकले?
लाडली बहनों ने निकाल दिया।
अब प्राथमिकता अब क्या रहेगा? क्योंकि मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा तो क्या आप बार-बार कहते हैं संगठन तय करेगा, लेकिन
कहा है वो पूरा करना है।
अब यहाँ से आपको क्या लगता है, एग्जिट पोल जो एक्सिस माई इंडिया ने दिखाए थे वो आपको लगता है सटीक बैठे हैं?
लगभग वही परफेक्ट निकले हैं। एक्सिस माई इंडिया, चाणक्य, इस तरह के जो कुछ आए थे, मैं एक एक की बात नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन वो परफेक्ट।
राहुल गांधी ने एक पनौती शब्द का इस्तेमाल किया था, आज कब क्या करेंगे?
जनता ने जवाब दे दिया।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये थे मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान, जिन्होंने आज तक से खास बातचीत की।
That's Ravishpal Singh. Let's go across to Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. The BJP romping home to power and style in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and even Chhattisgarh. Internally, some in the party were thinking, okay, एक तो निकल जाएगी, 2 आ जाए, that will be 2-2, that will be a good one. You in fact hit the Congress out of the park in the heartland.
You know, Rahul, I was not there on your channel yesterday or on the 30th, but on a rival channel, without any ifs or buts, because I don't hold any prisoners. I say it as it is. I said we are winning all the 3, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, without any ifs or buts whatsoever. And I'm so glad that, you know, it's not just a victory. एक होता है कि आप जीत हासिल करते हो, and दूसरा होता है there is a rout of the opposition. Look at the sheer magnitude of the BJP's victory in Madhya Pradesh. So congratulations to Pradeep. That video doing the rounds on social media where Rahul Kaval is saying, अरे लोगों को नींद नहीं आ रही है, सच होगा ना, हमारी फजीहत तो नहीं उड़ेगी ना। तो राहुल कवल जी, आपकी फजीहत नहीं उड़ी ना, बीजेपी की फजीहत उड़ी। And Rajdeep Sardesai telling Pradeep, you better get this right, otherwise we'll be in deep trouble. So Rajdeep, you're not in deep trouble because Pradeep has got it right. And I think the reason why I remember what he said is because it's very difficult to go against the popular narrative and still hold your ground. So, you know, kudos to that. But I just want to say one, I think Rahul Kaval is bored of this particular panktiya which I quote so often on his shows, and I've done a zillion shows with him. But I always say this, and I don't think it's going to go out of style. I will repeat what Prime Minister Modi told the opposition a couple of months back on the floor of the Lok Sabha. तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, लेकिन कमाल तो ये है कि तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है, लेकिन कमाल तो ये है कि तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है. And I think this is so apt because the opposition has been running helter-skelter on thin ice, and yet it has failed to acknowledge that in Madhya Pradesh, anti-incumbency had transformed vehemently into pro-incumbency. In Chhattisgarh, why I said that the BJP will win, because on another channel I said nobody gave us credit for the fact that we undertook a massive organizational revamp. We made Arun Saw the chief of BJP in Chhattisgarh. We inducted O.P. Chaudhary, a former bureaucrat who's been doing a lot of groundwork quietly but resolutely. We made sure that we gave a relevant opportunity to Kedar Kashyap, the son of Baliram Kashyap, a stalwart in Chhattisgarh politics from the BJP's end. Earlier, Chhattisgarh BJP was all about Saroj Pandey, it was about Raman Singh, it was about Brijmohan Agarwal. But the BJP has expanded its footprint in Chhattisgarh in terms of the sheer organizational revamp by inducting new blood, which finally seems to have paid dividends, which nobody, either from Godi media or Pappu media, was willing to take cognizance of. Point number one. Point number two.
That was just point number one. Sanju Verma, keep it short today. I just want to understand one thing.
Please don't try and teach me lessons on how I should conduct myself on national television. You seem to be giving homilies to BJP all the time. I don't want to trivialize a victory. I don't want this to be Rajdeep versus Sanju Verma. But let truth be told. Let truth be told. So
I want an explanation.
Show some grace today for
just a minute. Simple. Can I just understand one thing? 4 state governments today, 3 are being voted out. 1 of BRS, it appears, and 2 of the Congress. The one BJP government is being voted in. What do you think the BJP does right that the Congress doesn't? Simple, nice question.
Yes, so now I'm not a cricket buff, nor am I a movie buff. But let me speak in cricketing, terminology, because that is what Rajdeep Sardesai appreciates. I think, and at the expense of sounding, to be a blind bhakt, I say blindly, हाँ भाई मोदी भक्त है, गलत क्या है? It is better to be a Modi bhakt than to be a Panoti Pappu's bhakt. But be that as it may, Narendra Modi has the reliability factor which MS Dhoni has enjoyed for the longest time. So the reliability of Dhoni, the flamboyance, flair and aggression of a Virat Kohli, and the perseverance and style of Sachin Tendulkar. Never give up. And the sheer dedication. I'm telling you, I'm not a seasoned politician. I've spent longest time, donkey's years in the corporate sector. But trust me, even on the smallest matter, the kind of organizational homework, the kind of groundwork that is done, I mean, you have to be a part of the system. It's unbelievable. Sometimes, I ask myself, this is a textbook classic case in management. And, having been a management student, I am told, a small thing that I want to say. Philip Kotler always says that the greatest disservice you can do to a bad product, and listen to this very carefully, the greatest disservice that you can do to a bad product is to continuously market it and not realize that it is the time to abandon it. अब ये किसके लिए साबित हुआ सही? एक प्रोडक्ट है, वो हर साल, हर 3 महीने में लगातार लॉन्च हो रहा है, लगातार लॉन्च हो रहा है, और लोग ये कहते हैं वाह वाह, इन्होंने तो कमाल कर दिया. And that is the problem with the opposition. That is the problem. They don't seem to realize they're banking on a product that is well past its expiry date.
Sanju says she doesn't watch much cricket or Bollywood. That's because she watches a lot of India Today. That's one of the reasons why.
That's why our ratings are up.
Huh?
Sanju, I hope you've been watching the channel since the morning. Now don't say you haven't.
No. Yeah, that reminds me. I have been watching India Today more than I have been watching other channels. I would not disagree on that count. But I just want to say one thing, Rajdeep. ये क्या भी नया narrative आप लेकर आ गए हो? North versus South divide. I remember Rahul Kanwal is the only anchor, even on 30th November, when everybody was writing of the BJP. नहीं, छत्तीसगढ़ में तो देखिए BJP का सफाया हो गया, blah blah blah. He said, let us not, run ahead of ourselves in terms of pop panditry. तो ये जो पॉप पंडितरी का कल्चर है, I think that also is responsible for the opposition today feeling let down, because इनको तो लगा था भाई हम छत्तीसगढ़ में सरकार हमारी है, तेलंगाना में तो हमको वैसे ही लोगों ने मैंडेट
a lot of Congress supporters and leaders, Sanju, had all their lines ready about how great a victory this is going to be for Rahul Gandhi.
Exactly.
And how Rahul Gandhi has led the Congress and it's the return of Rahul Gandhi. All that panditry and all those lines will have to be kept for another day.
And I remember you kept saying that let us not engage in panditry, but I'll just end by saying one very small, a small observation that I want to make. Had Rahul Gandhi's party, forget about Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, if they had even won Chhattisgarh, Rajdeep bolta hai 2 for 2. Wahan do, yahan do. Halaki, you have 54 seats from Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan alone. And from Telangana and Chhattisgarh, you have about 28 Lok Sabha seats and 54 Lok Sabha seats from Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. So comparing Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan on one side and Chhattisgarh, Telangana on another side would have been like comparing apples with watermelons. But अब तो सारा खेल ही खत्म हो गया कांग्रेस के लिए. छत्तीसगढ़ भी बीजेपी जीत रही है, मध्य प्रदेश it's a rout for the Congress, and Rajasthan they were banking on this hung parliament thing. People were saying, law and order is not an issue. Oh, women have been gang raped in Bhilwara, in Dausa, in Pali, in Jodhpur, in Karoli. कौन सी बड़ी बात है? It's a given. So when you try and rationalize lawlessness, when you try and rationalize, corruption which has run its course in Chhattisgarh, that is when you are doing a disservice to the electorate which is far smarter than you. And as Rajdeep says, ये public है, ये सब जानती है. And you cannot fool the electorate because it's not gullible anymore. And I just want to say one more thing. Why do you forget, please, why do you forget one thing? Bharat Jodo Yatra is a failure, point number 1. Rahul Gandhi cannot be launched any longer unless the Congress wants to really ensure its complete demise. Point number 3, there is no north versus south divide, north of the Vindhyas and south of the Vindhyas. Narendra Modi continues to be the tallest leader by far with zero competition. And if you want to call that the Tina factor, be that as it may, the fact is that the most important point, the biggest takeaway is that you cannot start this narrative about caste census 3 months ahead of state elections and expect the people to not see through your charade. Tell me, Rahul,
thank you very much, Sanju Verma.
52% of the population in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh is OBCs. If the caste census was such a big issue, why could not the Congress capitalize on the Madhya Pradesh and Telangana OBC electorate? 50 to 52%.
Okay, we'll call you back for more. Sanju Verma, thank you so much for your time. Many congratulations on these historic victories. And I love how when any of the guests come, no matter which party they come from, they're able to quote back what we've been saying verbatim. And that's the risk with pop panditry. You say something which is slightly out of line on the back of initial trends, it can come back to bite you very badly later. So you have to be very, very calibrated in what you say. I want to go across to Akshita Nandgopal. She's at the Congress headquarters in Hyderabad. And what I love about the Telangana elections is that they're all glued to India Today. Everywhere, no matter which party office it is, they're all watching India Today. That's Revant Reddy. 64 leads at this moment, up 45 from the last time. That's the one sliver of hope and the one piece of good news for the Congress in what's otherwise been a pathetic day at the box office.
Very true, Rahul. And let me just show you what's happening around here. The celebrations continue. Revant Reddy is right now here at the Gandhi Bhavan. He's inside meeting with many of the Congress men and women who've toiled for months together to ensure this kind of victory. So celebrations at its peak here, the only state, as you pointed out, where there's reason for Congress to celebrate. But I think looking at the kind of crowds that have gathered here, Rahul, looking at the kind of celebrations and the grand heroes welcome that Revant Reddy got, I think it's safe to say that there's no real suspense over who will be the chief minister. Of course, it has to come from the Congress High Command, but you can see that all the songs, and if I could just tell you about what this song is, it's all praise for Revant Reddy. And this has been playing in every single one of his rallies. Today, they're playing it at the Congress headquarters, and everyone's dancing to these beats, knowing full well that there was a Revant Reddy factor involved also in ensuring this kind of a victory. Let me speak to some of them. Who is responsible for the win for Congress? Who is responsible for the Congress win in Telangana?
Revant Reddy.
Revant Reddy. So you want him to be chief minister?
Yes. Revant Reddy will be the upcoming chief minister of Telangana. He is the only person who has been working hard in Telangana. Jai Revant Anna, Jai Congress. On December 9, Revant Anna will be.
So he'll be the chief minister.
KCR, bye-bye. KCR, bye-bye. But none of expect the KCR and KTR. He never expects, and he is the winner of the CM. The Telangana Chief Minister is the 9th of December. Revant Reddy, Chief
Will
Minister.
you accept anyone else as Chief Minister?
Sorry?
Will you accept anyone else from Congress as Chief
No, never accept the BLF team. BLF team, everything is not accepted, but Congress is the...
So these are Congress supporters, but they're also very, very importantly, okay, thank you. They're also very importantly Revant Reddy supporters here who've gathered. He's become synonymous with the Congress here, Rahul. So if at any point, there's some big surprise that's coming our way about the Chief Minister face, it's going to lead to all of these people also being very, very angry with the decision by the High Command. But from what I've heard to the senior leaders that have spoken here, all of them are saying that this is a post that belongs to Revant Reddy.
Given how popular he is, given the fact that the India Today Access My India post-poll study clearly puts him at #1 in the Congress pack of leaders and contenders, Rajdeep, the Congress has to be suicidal to pick anybody else apart.
No, as of now, he will be CM, and I'm told he's going to be sworn in on the 9th of December, which is Sonia Gandhi's birthday. So they want to give Sonia Gandhi.
That's what Revant is thinking.
No, I'm told that's the date that he wants, and that's the date that they hope that the Congress leadership will agree. But there are others. Bhatti Vikramarya is someone who hopes that his name will come. His supporters are already trending Bhatti for CM. He's a Dalit face. He's been the CLP leader. But I think this victory is largely, at the local level due to Revant Reddy. Just think about it. A couple of years ago, he was a kind of backbencher. He'd won a member of parliament. He had spent a long time with the Telugu Desam, brief spell with TRS, and of course had been in the ABVP. So he was seen as the outsider. But he's come in and galvanized them by going, taking his battle, his Vijay Yatra on the front foot. I think there's a lesson in that. If you give someone, empower someone, give him that power. He also worked very well with Sunil Kanagulu. Sunil Kanagulu is the election strategist of the Congress. They gave space to each other. In North India, Rahul, the problem is the old guard of the Congress is just not willing to relinquish the space and not willing to accept any new ideas.
And accept professional advice. The problem with someone like a Kamal Nath was he was so certain that he knew all the answers that he wasn't listening to professional strategists. And that, I think, is an epic botch-up because you have to look at data, you have to look at what the polling is saying, and you have to go with professional advice. This old generation of netas and journalists, including journalists, who sitting in their studio seem to think they know it all, are always trying to find some ways of reviving Rahul Gandhi's career and waiting to announce how the Congress has bounced back. You have to allow for the data to do the talking before you put your theories out, because that's really more reflective of bias than it is of anything else.
So you go by the polls. You will recall India Today's cover a week, 5 years ago this week. Rahul Gandhi on the cover, being seen as the man of the year. That 2018. 6 months later, Mr. Modi sweeps. In politics, nothing is permanent. Therefore, I think we've got to recognize, I keep maintaining, Rahul Gandhi has just not been able to find a connect in the Hindi heartland, which is why he's gone from Amethi to Wayanad. Why did you go from Amethi? You lost Amethi, you went to Wayanad. The Congress increasingly has become a party of the southern states, even in Western India, in Maharashtra, Gujarat. In Maharashtra today, you could argue Congress is party number 3 in a state which was once a dominant Congress party state. So I think the Congress has serious, my problem is to pin it only on Rahul Gandhi is not the answer. The answer is this is a party which has serious organizational crisis, leadership crisis,
Since the
crisis
last
of
time
ideology
we did,
and narrative.
I want to walk across to Election Intelligence Dashboard, which is really getting rave reviews from our viewers for just the kind of analytics we're being able to put out. And I want to give you a sense of the way things look at this moment. The biggest victory, as we've been saying, comes from Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, the BJP at this moment leading in 165 seats out of 230. That is a ginormous victory, given especially the fact that you're up against 4 terms of anti-incumbency. The BJP's gains coming from virtually all the regions of Madhya Pradesh. In Bagelkhand, they're down 1. In Bhopal, they're up 3. Bundelkhand, they're up 3. Chambal, they're up 11. Mahakaushal, up 15. Malwa, up 17. Nimar, they're up 4. That's a very big victory for the BJP across Madhya Pradesh. If I look at the overall national picture that emerges out of the 638 seats where counting is on at the moment, the BJP leading on 337. No wonder JP Nadda looks very pleased with himself and Mallikarjun Kharge is looking circumspect. 233 for the Congress. That's a very poor show in comparison with the last elections. From here, let's come for a moment to Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is the biggest surprise from a BJP perspective because they weren't expecting this clear a lead. I spoke to a very senior, one of the top BJP leaders this morning while our coverage was on. He thought Chhattisgarh would be tough. He was hoping that they do well, but he acknowledged that it was looking tough. From there, the BJP at this moment, they were at 15 in the last elections. They've jumped up 38 seats to 53. The Congress is down 34 to 34. Chhattisgarh really, Ashok Malik, is an example of the BJP snatching a big victory from the jaws of near imminent defeat.
Well, even BJP leaders who were half confident about Madhya Pradesh were, even
I'm telling you, I
much less
spoke to one of the
confident
top
about
leaders
Chhattisgarh.
this morning.
They had more or less
He
given
said,
it up.
he said, no, it'll be tight, but mushkil lag raha hai. Just this morning, while the counting was going on.
But it tells you something about the BJP, not just in terms of leadership, but in terms of the organization, that it has managed to defend a 20-year incumbency in Madhya Pradesh, while the Congress has found it difficult to defend a one-term incumbency, even with a strong chief minister.
No, and also, for a moment, think about the prowess in election management of Amit Shah. He didn't go to Rajasthan. He told people around him that it's easy, I don't want to spend there. That's where JP Nadda went. He went to Madhya Pradesh and he spent time in Chhattisgarh, rotating candidates, bringing in new faces, and the fact that in these tough elections, the Home Minister himself driving the campaign on the ground, taking the tough decisions and moving things around on the political chessboard to ensure that on the day of polling, he's able to get his voters out. He said, and I mentioned this earlier, that maybe the polls are showing us behind, but in the numbers that we are getting, I'll get more people to the polling booth. So the poll may show Congress in front in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. They'll be able to get lesser people to the polling booth. So there'll be people who intended to vote Congress who may not go. I will get more people who intend to vote for me to go. That really is micromanagement of a very high order.
But, each BJP worker at the booth level is given a list of names, people he has to ensure come out of their houses and vote. That sort of micromanagement, that sort of last mile determination is frankly not there in other parties.
But Chetan, in some senses, this is like a super heavyweight champion up against a bantamweight boxer. You put them in the ring and the result is likely to be the same each and every time. Why is he superweight boxer? They are also Indian citizens with the same passport and Aadhaar card as Rahul Gandhi has. I mean, how did they become superweight champion? They were not born with it. In fact, they are homegrown. They are like first generation. And that shows the difference hunger, passion, hard work can make in any profession. To keep on assuming, I agree. I said in the morning also, they are the 900-pound gorilla in the room. They're like Google in search, and Microsoft made ChatGPT and made them dance. Congress needed to have made them dance today for have any hope.
But look at what they've done, for example, in Karnataka. They lost Karnataka 5 months ago. So for all the micromanagement organizational skills, there are limitations to it. But what have they done since then? They had marginalized Yediyurappa and believed that they could move to a post-Yediyurappa Karnataka. Now they've gone back to Yediyurappa. His son has been made party president, and they seem to be giving the sense that we believe that we need Yediyurappa for the Lok Sabha. So you're willing to swallow your pride. You made mistake. JDS, Amit Shah, Rahul Kanwal, you will recall at the conclave said, JDS and Congress are two sides of the same corruption. What have they gone and done? They've gone and tied up with the JDS. Why? Because they believe that in southern Karnataka, you may well need the JDS to offset the rise of the Congress. So you're willing to learn, you're willing to course correct. Sam, Dam, Danda, Bhed. Let's be clear.
And you don't put your ego ahead. Kamal Nath could have given a few seats to the Samajwadi Party in the areas neighboring Uttar Pradesh. He chose not to.
No, even in Rajasthan, you realize at some stage that you will need Vasundhara. You had to mollify her. It didn't take, it wasn't easy, but you eventually did it. She went and campaigned without being projected as the face. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, let's be clear. Today we are playing encomiums to Shivraj Singh Chauhan. BJP in September was not mentioning Shivraj Singh Chauhan's name. By October, he was suddenly out there as one of their faces. So the BJP's ability to course correct. It's not as if this is some invincible machine, but it is a machine that is willing to do what it takes to win elections. The Congress, on the other hand, did exactly the opposite. Please tell me, for 5 years, you could not resolve the problem between Gehlot and Pilot. Only on the last day, you had a photo op. When I look at these numbers, Congress could have been close to the BJP in Rajasthan had you been able to prevent a united front 6 months ago. You failed to do that because you thought Ashok Gehlot, the man who challenged you, Ashok Gehlot challenged your own leadership of 1 year ago, and you were not able to do anything.
Twice over.
So what did you do? You couldn't do anything. Look at what you did in Chhattisgarh. You last moment made T.S. Singh Deo your deputy CM. You had promised him chief ministership for half the term. What happened? So the Congress, unfortunately, the point that Yogendra makes is well taken. There's a huge gap between your national leadership and how your local leaders look at elections.
But that also shows how weak your national leadership is, Rajdeep.
Or disconnected.
Where disconnected or weak. Where you're working in Telangana together, you're completely disconnected and have no idea in the 3 heartland states.
Absolutely.
They are in power. They had Rajasthan, they had Chhattisgarh, and it's like that Avis, the car rental company, said, we are number 2, we work harder. You just had to work hard and show that when Congress comes to power, we do a better job than BJP. Yes, all these things, also organization, all that, but you had 5 years, you were in power, and what did we see? Like there's a division in the party, you know, people are just watching drama unfolding on screen, more drama.
No, Rajasthan is a classic example. Rajasthan is a classic example of the Congress shooting itself in the foot. 2018, you had Sachin Pilot, young generation leader. You had Ashok Gehlot, experienced leader. Get them to work together. If they don't, find a way. That's management. Look, management is about managing conflicting ambitions.
If you just look at the numbers right now of Rajasthan, 109 by 73 where the Congress stands. If the Congress had its act together, they could have put at least 15 more on the board.
100%. And that would have brought...
15
So
more
it shows that the Congress is unable... management school is about managing people. You're not able to manage people. You keep promising pilots something, it didn't happen.
In both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, the BJP actually managed a much more factualized party organization much better. It managed to send central leaders, including ministers, and told them, go fight MLA level elections.
I agree with you, Ashok, with one caveat. When you are in power in the center,
you can get away with
a lot. When you have Mr. Modi's own personal popularity, you can get away with a lot. I would like to see the post-Modi BJP being able to deal with factionalism the way Mr. Modi is. Today, because Mr. Modi is India's neta number 1, he's like Amitabh Bachchan. From 1 to 10 in the late 1970s, Bachchan was number 1. You didn't know who was number 2, whether it was Vinod Khanna or anyone else. Therefore, he's able to, if Mr. Modi decides Manohar Lal Khattar banega, Khattar hi banega.
So
in the Congress, you can't do that.
So what will happen now is that with the Congress national leadership further weakened, you will have these regional satraps demanding their pound of flesh. I do not rule out a DK Shivakumar tomorrow saying that I want to have a date by which I will be made the chief minister.
No, Sudhir, you tell me here. I'm seeing trend number 6 on Twitter, Bhatti Vikramarka for CM. So he'll tomorrow say, mujhe bhi banna hai. If he's not made today, he'll say 2 years from now, and the party leadership will be left helpless again.
Especially when they have only 66. It's just 6 above the halfway mark.
Yeah,
so
he can move.
So you could have a group of, let's say, SC MLAs or SC and ST MLAs saying that we want our pound of flesh, we want these many ministries, or we want to
Do you see that happening today or 6 months or 1 year
now?
down?
Because Revant will have the national leadership's backing. He's seen as the man of the moment, but sooner than later, depending on how it transpires, let's say in Karnataka, where DK, as you know, was also promised some kind of a bigger role, not just a deputy CM. Those rumblings will happen. Once the honeymoon period is over, those rumblings will happen.
DK's supporters have already sent out a message that DK has been promised 2.5 years. What will happen when 2.5? Same thing, T.S. Singh Deo. I still recall the day, Rahul, T.S. Singh Deo and Baghel came to Delhi. In the morning, we were told that Baghel is being replaced by T.S. Singh Deo. By the evening, Baghel stayed on. Poor T.S. Singh Deo was wondering what had happened to him. Now, that's the Congress's inability to manage factionalism because of a weakened high command is now going to work against them in state after state.
The joke the CLP meeting was where Sachin Pilot sat down with Mr. Markar and Mr. Kharge, hoping that by the end of that CLP meeting, he'd be the chief minister in the final leg, and there were no MLAs.
So I think there are serious problems for the Congress. I think the good news, therefore, who will be very happy today are the India allies.
Yeah.
Because they will feel that Congress wale aate hain, meeting mein humko dictate karte hain. Whether it's a Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee, all the smaller parties, Akhilesh Yadav, they will now say, you want to work with us? You can't work only on your own terms.
That's what Kamal Nath said, no? Vakhilesh kaun?
No, I met Akhilesh Yadav at a wedding last night. So I said, Kamal Nath ne aapko kaha, Akhilesh. He said, jaane dijiye, kal dekhte hain kya hota hai.
But
they will all have a feeling of schadenfreude at what has happened today.
They may be happy, but the point is the India alliance as a political factor, as a rival to the BJP and the BJP's alliance, the NDA, becomes that much weaker in state after state, including the crucial state of Maharashtra.
Yeah, it should have been 2-2. You know, in what you're saying would have happened if there was a 2-2, like Congress is so, you know, still kept in check, but they are still performing somewhat. But now, what is this India alliance? Like, what?
But why should it be 2-2? You see, if you're a party,
No, I'm saying if Congress had won 2 states today, they could have at least gone to the Indian alliance. Now it almost feels like the whole idea of like boycotting 14 reporters and the whole thing made a lot of news, but it's not working, right? Are you any of the boycotted ones? By the way, I met some of them and they're saying all the India alliance leaders are coming on their channel today.
No, you see, the fact is
that's separate.
The fact is, all of this may make headlines. Eventually, you have to connect with people. You know, Indian elections are about last mile connectivity. The BJP has mastered the art of booth level, mandal level communication. The Congress, to some extent, did it in Karnataka.
First, they made this name, right? They made this name and they said we have won the war on the name. The name has connected. India name has connected. Master stroke, master stroke. Then they boycotted 14 reporters.
No, but let me give you an example, just to show how it's worked. You do an India Alliance meeting in Mumbai. You say we are going to hold a grand meeting in Bhopal next month. We are in the first week of October. We are going to hold a grand meeting in. What does Kamal Nath say? I don't know about any such thing. I don't want a rally. Why? Because the DMK may attend, and the DMK has used certain words on Sanatan Dharma. So he didn't want the DMK around. Samajwadi Party, which has some hold in Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand, you don't want to have a tie-up with them, even though Akhilesh was desperate to have a, he said, give me 4 or 5 seats, at least we'll give the impression of being together. So you have an India alliance in Delhi that sits in a 5-star hotel, either in Delhi or Mumbai, but on the ground, what's happening? On the ground, you're fighting Arvind Kejriwal. It'll be interesting to see how many votes he's picked up in Chhattisgarh. When you went in Chhattisgarh, Aam Aadmi Party was fighting the Congress and saying that Bhupesh Baghel is corrupt. Okay. The loudest voices against Bhupesh Baghel I heard on the streets of Chhattisgarh were from Aam Aadmi Party activists. So
because the Aam Aadmi Party wanted to get into an alliance with Mr. Baghel, especially where the tribal areas were concerned, and they were completely slighted by Mr. Baghel. But for no reason why. But what is the Aam Aadmi Party's stake in a place like Chhattisgarh? So that was the reasoning given by Mr. Baghel at that time.
No, you can't. You can't. In Indian politics, this has to. If you want, when you are fighting Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. You have to have, or you've got to play the perfect match. Australia won the World Cup final by playing the perfect match against India. India is a better team, much better team, but they played the perfect match.
The big story today, far from the loser's lament, is the BJP sweep in the saffron states. These are images from the Congress headquarters in Hyderabad. Revant Reddy has just reached the Congress headquarters. They are fully watching India today in a manner that I am delighted with. The fact that every single person, no matter which party office it is in Hyderabad, we love all of you for watching us so closely. And the fact that our poll also turned out to be correct helps that, of course. And our coverage and the fact that all the leaders have been speaking to India today first. All that now playing out at the Congress headquarters where Revant Anna has just landed up. Giving the Congress some saving grace. Imagine if there were less than 60, there would have been so much horror and anger in the Congress camp. The only fact that they're still holding on to the straws that they are is because they've won an important state like Telangana.
A state which was created in a way by the Congress.
Yes.
And was also one of the many blunders of the Congress. When you list the blunders, many will say, here was Andhra Pradesh, solid 42 MLA, 42 MP state.
33 won by the Congress in 2009.
That's right. You won 2004 and 2009 on Andhra. Sudhir will tell me, but I have still not understood what was the compulsion to push through Telangana. You did so, you lost out to KCR. Today, in a way, it's payback time for the fact that you gave Telangana. But Andhra Pradesh, the Congress is a wipeout there at the moment. I don't think this is going to change anything in Andhra. Though, interestingly, Sudhir, someone has sent me the arrest of Chandrababu Naidu also affected KCR because the Kammas have taken revenge, some say, because KCR was seen to be hand in glove with Jagan Reddy. Is there any truth in that, or is this Congress victory confined now to Telangana? It'll have no impact on Andhra that goes to the polls in a few months.
That impact of Chandrababu Naidu's Kamma community influencing the vote would be seen only in some constituencies in Hyderabad and some in Khammam district and probably bordering Nalgonda, but not beyond that. But the feeling was that the TDP, even though not contesting this election, was in a tacit sense supporting the Congress this time, even though its alliance partner Janasena was contesting along with BJP. So that's a bit messy, but the Telangana effect will be felt on Andhra Pradesh politics. The interesting part is that Chandrababu Naidu in 2018-19 went against the BJP, fought against, lost both Andhra Pradesh, also got reduced to only 3 Lok Sabha seats. Chandrasekhar Rao, the other Chandra of Telugu state politics, also pretty much reduced to the same state. We'll have to see how the BRS performs in April 2024.
It's therefore, the Congress therefore can find this southern comfort, but unless it can build a bridge beyond South India, it's going to find it very difficult to sort of remain relevant to the national discourse.
Talking about southern,
it's not dominating.
we keep talking about southern comfort. Let's face it, if there's a referendum or a presidential contest between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi just in South India, Mr. Modi will win.
If we recall on political stock exchange, the only 2 states where Mr. Modi was well below Rahul Gandhi, correct me if I'm wrong, was Kerala and Tamil Nadu. These were the only 2 states where he was below Rahul.
Let's listen to senior BJP leader, Union Minister Smriti Irani is reacting on these big BJP victories.
जिस प्रकार का कटाक्ष विपक्ष के नेताओं ने नरेंद्र मोदी पर किया, वो कटाक्ष विपक्ष को, गांधी खानदान को महंगा पड़ा है। जनता जानती है कि विकास के मुद्दों पर सिर्फ नरेंद्र मोदी का नेतृत्व, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ही खरी उतरी है और जनता ने उसी पर भरोसा कर पुनः मोदी मैजिक के माध्यम से आज ये परिणाम हमारे सामने प्रस्तुत किए हैं।
तेलंगाना में अनुरूप नहीं आया नतीजे।
मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता प्रतिबद्ध हैं कि नरेंद्र भाई के नेतृत्व में, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी के मार्गदर्शन में हम पार्टी को हर प्रदेश में सशक्त करेंगे। आज के परिणाम हम सबके लिए सुखद हैं, लेकिन साथ ही 2024 में जीत का संकेत हैं।
The BJP there, massively reassured by these victories, now almost certain of a strong showing in 2024, unless something disastrous happens. And given the astute political management of the BJP top brass, even when something seems to be going wrong, they quickly make the corrections that are required. This victory pretty much seals 2024 for all practical purposes. The Congress will have to slog it out for another 6 years to try and put together a machine which can take on the BJP in Chhattisgarh. If you can snatch Chhattisgarh, the BJP can snatch Chhattisgarh from the Congress, an election which is really something that the Congress should have won, the Congress will find it very difficult to beat the BJP in a head-on-head fight.
2024, I know nothing is a done deal in politics, but it's as close to a done deal today. That's my sense. Let's say it, because the BJP won 62 out of 65 of these Lok Sabha seats as well. That was, some would say, post Balakot. This is
The BJP said 300 par. The BJP's big war cry, when the Prime Minister speaks, he'll be going to the BJP headquarters at 6:30 p.m. this evening at Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg. Their big war cry will be "Ab ki baar 400 par."
So there are 4 states where I see the BJP still vulnerable. One is Karnataka, one is Bihar, one is Bengal, and one is Maharashtra. These are 4 states that but see what they've done in Maharashtra. They've broken the Shiv Sena, they've broken the NCP. So they've consolidated themselves. They will, I'm sure in Karnataka, they've effected a leadership change. They brought in the JDS. In Bihar, I think they are very clear that they will try and craft their own caste coalition to take on Lalu. And Amit Shah's first rally. I mean, think about this. Campaign over on the day that voting is taking place in Telangana. Where was Amit Shah? In Bengal, addressing a huge rally. So this is, this machine that keeps roiling on.
In Bihar, the BJP alone last time won 17 seats. In alliance with JDU, it won 39. For the BJP to repeat 17 may not be that difficult. Repeating 39 will be tough. I agree.
Yes, Rahul.
A lot of people are asking what the Lok Sabha trends could look like. So what we'll try and do in just a moment is to give you a sense of in the conversions which have happened. So let me first let me stand in the middle, try to explain. Nobody takes a screenshot and gets it all wrong. Let me explain what we want to do. In the seats which we've converted, I'll show you what the parliament conversions are going to look like. If you aggregate the assembly-wise vote share, what does parliament look like? I'll show that to you. Akshita Nandgopal is just trying to get a mic in to see if she can speak to Revant Reddy. Let's listen and if we can catch in there. So as I explained, what we'll try and do, and I'll build on this over the next couple of hours. This is the first cut I'm showing you. Each Lok Sabha seat is made up of assembly segments, 7, 6, 8. If I add, and we haven't added for all just yet, if I add each of those assembly segments into Lok Sabha trends, what does it look like? So we'll do that. I'll start, for example, with Madhya Pradesh, and we'll try and show you what the conversion of these assembly segments into Lok Sabha trends could look like. So there are 29 parliamentary seats in Madhya Pradesh. If we convert, and obviously it doesn't work like this, the factors are different, the elections are different, the mechanics are different. But if I just did a simple arithmetic, just for the sake of adda, you want to have adda, you want to talk what will happen. So instead of just talking, let me give you some data. If I convert the trends that have come so far from assembly segments into Lok Sabha leads, the Congress would have 7 Lok Sabha leads, the BJP 22. So at the very least, and the BJP will of course hope that this goes up, at the very least, the BJP would have 22 Lok Sabha leads in Madhya Pradesh. From there, let me come to Chhattisgarh. There are 11 Lok Sabha seats in Chhattisgarh. On these 11 Lok Sabha seats, if I convert the assembly trends into, this is all being done live. I'm seeing this for the first time myself also. So if I now convert assembly leads into Lok Sabha trends, on these 11 seats, the BJP at 8, the Congress at 3. And remember, a Lok Sabha election is easier for the BJP than this. So 8 already, the Congress only at 3. So from there, I now want to go to Telangana. Let's see what's happening in Telangana. In Telangana, if we just did an arithmetic conversion, as I said, this election intelligence dashboard is quite magical. It will typically take people many days to do those kind of conversion. We can do it live for you. So if we convert assembly leads into Lok Sabha, the Congress leading on 9 Lok Sabha seats, the BRS on 6, the BJP had 4 last time, this time at 1, but they'll hope to do better in a Lok Sabha context. And lastly, let me come to Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, when I last checked, the data wasn't complete, but for what it's worth, from the seats we've been able to convert so far, the BJP leading on 16, the Congress only on 3. The other data I don't have just at this moment. I'll update it next time. It's looking pretty good. The BJP is looking at this, they won't take it for granted, but they'll say, okay, we're looking strong. Sure.
The ticket.
Yeah.
Just
Just add 5 to 10% market share, vote share on this, and then make the.
And the stock market will boom in the morning.
That is
I was speaking to Shail Bhatnagar, who heads markets today for Business Today Television. And he said, if the BJP wins 2 Heartland seats, you watch Rahul tomorrow. When the markets open, the BSE and NSE will be at historic highs. They weren't expecting 3 wins. With 3 wins in the Heartland, the markets will be on a roll.
Absolutely, and just you have. I understand they're just doing a literal translation, but the vote share is going to be very different in the next, and it's going to be advantage BJP. And I don't know what the India Alliance will do. Maybe they'll come up with another story. We'll know.
In a world which is so volatile, in a world that is so volatile, with elections so unpredictable in democracy after democracy, if India gets the same government and same prime minister for 3 successive terms,
Remember Margaret Thatcher and Tony Blair, 2 other transformative leaders in their 3rd election struggle. They did win, but it was a lot of struggle. Any leader internationally, if you're looking at these results, globally, they'll be envious of Narendra Modi. India's Prime Minister, after 9.5 years of being in power, to have this kind of popularity across the heartland is quite amazing. It's an astounding achievement to be able to keep voters on your side. The pundits may not be on their side. They're just itching and waiting to write his obituary. The voters have a mind of their own, Rajdeep.
And it's not going to stop. On 22nd of January, you'll have Mr. Modi doing the Ram Mandir inauguration. If anything, that will give it even more emotive resonance across North India. In that sense, he's got the narrative. He's got the leadership, the leadership battle, in a sense, sewn up. If I was the opposition, I wouldn't really know what to do. Assume that you are actually talking of a rival who's ticked all the boxes at the moment. There was even talk that the poorer sections of society, those on the margins who suffered during COVID, are the ones who perhaps would vote against the BJP. But look at what's happened in Chhattisgarh. The poorer parts of the country, Chhattisgarh has some parts of the country where a large number of Dalits, tribals who live on the margins are there. They've all reposed their faith in the BJP in this election. So in parts of Madhya Pradesh, Malwa Nimad, for example. So clearly, I think he's built what with Shivraj Singh Chauhan also is true, bharosa, trust. So when you're looking at a double engine then,
he's also built a welfare architecture that gets linked directly to the union government and to him.
And even when you went across the states, Rajdeep, which we spoke of during the exit polls, when we were trying to conflate both the two, you can't, because the voters, which were very clear, who were very clear that they were going the Congress way, made it very clear that when it comes to 24, they're going to vote the Prime Minister.
Hello?
Okay, let's just listen into Akshita Nandgopal, who's finally caught up with Revant Reddy, the one Congress leader who's beaming at the moment, even though at 63, the Congress is only 3 above the halfway mark. Think about it. If there's a split tomorrow in the Congress, what happens next?
I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. You have assessed.
Your party has won today. What's up?
We are going to close the show with those pictures of Revant Reddy. These are the only pictures that the Congress can be gleeful about today. Else, it's been a saffron sweep. So from there, I'm going to show you the pictures across BJP offices in different parts of the country. Kabhi khushi, kahi gham. Khushi in the BJP camp, gham in the Congress camp. Today has been the BJP's day out. The BJP reasserting its supremacy in southern India. Revant Reddy there. Those are pictures in Hyderabad, but I'll ask my producer to shift to all the pictures that we've got from other capitals of the country, from Jaipur, from Raipur, and from Bhopal, where it is the BJP's day out. On that note, I must take our first break. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back in the evening with plenty more.
आ गई भगवादारी आ गई राजस्थान में
कमल खिला के रहेंगे और महिलाओं को स्वतंत्रता राजस्थान बना के रहेंगे।
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
As much as we thought that the Rajasthan result is going to be neck and neck, it clearly looks now that the BJP is taking a lead. The numbers are showing BJP leading. You're already celebrating. What's the mood?
बिल्कुल भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रचंड बहुमत से राजस्थान में सरकार बनाने जा रही है और हम इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं राजस्थान की प्रत्येक नारी शक्ति का, जिन्होंने कि इस महिला विरोधी कांग्रेस सरकार को उखाड़ फेंकने का जो प्रण लिया था वो आज पूरा हो गया है और पूरी महिला शक्ति।
और इसलिए शांति धारीवाल जो महिला विरोधी बयान देते हैं वो पीछे हैं और राजस्थान ने महिला जाति ने उखाड़ कर फेंक दिया कांग्रेस।
सीएम कौन है? सीएम कौन होगा?
सीएम कोई भी बने, राजस्थान में बहुमत से सरकार बन रही है।
मोदी 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 कौन वसुंधरा राजे?
देखिए सीएम चाहे जो भी बने वो हमारे शीर्ष नेतृत्व का निर्णय है और हमें सिरों उतार रहे हैं। हम तो बस इस बात में खुश है कि राजस्थान में कमल का फूल अपने प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ खिल रहा है। जय भाजपा, जय भाजपा।
क्यों आपको क्यों लगता है कि गहलोत अगर हार गए, क्यों हार गए?
मीठी रेवड़ी देने के चक्कर में हार गए।
किसके चक्कर में?
मीठी रेवड़ियां बांटने के चक्कर में
फ्री रेवड़ियां
बांटने से कुछ नहीं हुआ। राजस्थान की जनता पीड़ित थी कांग्रेस सरकार से और राजस्थान की जनता ने नतीजा दे दिया।
आप वसुंधरा राजे को चाहते हैं सीएम या कोई और? अगर जीत गई
बीजेपी ऐसी सरकार है जहाँ कोई भी सीएम बने, हम जीत गए, सीएम कोई भी बने हमें स्वीकार है।
अच्छा सीएम कोई भी मिले, आप मोदी के लिए वोट किया है या किसके लिए? राजस्थान की सुशासन लाने के लिए और मोदी जी के लिए। आप गहलोत अगर हारेगा तो क्यों हारेगा? अगर नहीं हार गया गहलोत लिपट गया, नारी को सुरक्षा दे न सके, वो सरकार निकम्मी है। जादूगर, there you have it, a whole bunch of women here in Rajasthan, Jaipur, right at the BJP office to come here to जादू का पिटारा खो चुका है, मोदी आ चुका है। Well, this is obviously keeping a hawk eye on the 2024 elections. You had the BJP already doing the victory dance here. Massive jubilant celebrations as we see here right outside the BJP office. There you have the entire setup here, all decked in saffron. BJP flags, orange balloons, people wearing orange gear. A lot of them painting their face in orange. It's quite an ecstatic moment here for the BJP cadre in Rajasthan, undoubtedly.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Co-presented by आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय जॉय ई-बाइक. Co-presented by Nexa, Create Inspire. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. Co-powered by ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. बनाऊंगा मैं, बनेगा भारत.
Welcome back. Big day for the BJP, sweeping the Hindi heartland, 3 states, 2 of which were earlier with the Congress, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and retaining power in Madhya Pradesh. The Congress's sole comfort is coming from Telangana at the moment, where I can tell you their lead also has narrowed. They're 63 in that 119-member assembly. One of the heroes of the day, Rahul, is Shivraj Singh Chauhan. You can't get enough of him on a day like today.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ये जो गारंटी है मध्य प्रदेश को एक पूरी करेंगे और भाई तो तुम्हारे लिए जिएगा मेरी बहनों, तुम्हारी जिंदगी बदलना मेरी जिंदगी का लक्ष्य है। हम आज मैं अपनी अपना आपका प्यार अनमोल है और मैं फिर दोहराता हूँ, मेरे लिए जगत में जितनी स्त्रियां हैं देवों की मूर्तियां हैं। आपका मान, आपका सम्मान, आपकी सुरक्षा हमारी जिंदगी का लक्ष्य है। लंबी बात करने का वक्त नहीं है, और अपन जीत रहे हैं। ये जीत मैं प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को समर्पित करता हूँ, क्योंकि उनके आशीर्वाद से जीत हासिल की है। और लाडली बहनाओं, तो मैं ये जीत समर्पित करता हूँ तुम्हारी जीत। भाई और बहन मिलकर हम साथ चलेंगे और मध्य प्रदेश को भी आगे बढ़ाएंगे और जनता की और बहनों की जिंदगी भी बदलेंगे। बोले भाई बहन सदा साथ रहेंगे, मिलकर मध्य प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे, जनता की जिंदगी भी बदलेंगे और बहनें भी आगे बढ़ती जाएगी। मेरी बहनों, बारम्बार फिर मैं अपनी बहनों को शीश झुका के प्रणाम करता हूँ। सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्काराय बारंबार प्रणाम मेरी बहनों, बारंबार प्रणाम। लाडली बहनों की, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
कोई भी बहन बिना भोजन के नहीं जाएगी।
Shivraj Singh Chauhan, this is second or third public appearance that he's made. It's interesting round. It's Shivraj Singh Chauhan's second or third public appearance he's made. And look at it, right down the line, all the front rows dominated by women. And he's been open about it. Ladli Behna, he's giving it credit. He's got women right there. He's projecting himself as the next chief minister. Ashok Malik may not necessarily believe that he will be one, but the fact is that Shivraj Singh Chauhan, purely,
is there any leader who's come out as often as Mamaji has this morning?
That's right.
He is coming out at every available opportunity, from the Bhopal gas tragedy anniversary to meeting a Ladli Behna to coming out and speaking inside his house. This is a victorious Shivraj Singh Chauhan, signaling to voters in Madhya Pradesh, signaling to his bosses in Delhi, signaling to the BJP Karyakarta across the country that this is a big victory. You cannot take credit away from Mamaji. So there's a lot of posturing and signaling as well. Raman Singh's done a bit of that in Chhattisgarh, but he's on a shakier wicket because he, A, wasn't projected, B, he was in opposition. Shivraj Singh Chauhan is in government, and while he acknowledged the role of Home Minister Amit Shah in micromanaging the campaign, in helping on the ground, it then becomes very difficult for the BJP at this juncture to institutionalize a generational change, even if they were thinking about one.
Huge difference between Raman Singh and Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, incumbent chief minister, with his back to the wall, wins an election, wins such a massive mandate. On the other hand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, the OBC factor is important. Raman Singh comes from a previous era where the BJP could perhaps was what I call the pre-OBC BJP. Now you've got a BJP which at every level is dominated by OBC leadership, starting with the Prime Minister. And to counter what the Congress says about OBCs being discriminated, I see any one of 3 or 4 names within the BJP's Chhattisgarh unit who are from the OBC community, who are the front runners to become the chief minister. Meanwhile, the breaking news we are getting is the BRS appears to have conceded. KCR concedes defeat in Telangana. KCR says...
No, this is Krishank Mane of the BRS saying that
we respect the verdict. Yeah. So, I mean, the fact is that the first time the BRS is coming out and saying it, even though, Sudhir, the margin isn't as if, it was looking like 70 about an hour ago, it's down to 63. And we want to make very cautious. If it were to come to anywhere below 60, then all options again open in Telangana.
Because the BRS so far was in the 30s, it has moved to the low 40s. 63 incidentally was the number that KCR's TRS won in 2014, the first election after the bifurcation, or around the time the bifurcation took place. So 63 is not a safe. In fact, many Congress leaders, including Renuka Chaudhary, said below 65 they are not safe.
Okay, so 41 for the BRS, 63 for the Congress. The Congress, which looked to be winning big, is now winning but just about crossing the finishing line, not looking comfortable. And that's been the case. Where the BJP is winning like it is in Madhya Pradesh, it's picking up 161 seats. Our poll was bang on in Madhya Pradesh. But this is just a phenomenal victory. After 20 years of being in power, 18 years of being in power, to win in this fashion is just an electoral marvel. This is the command the BJP machine, the chief minister, the party leadership has with the voters of the state, that the Congress is less than half of the BJP.
Look, there are 2 really major verdicts, I think, today that have come, or you could say 2.5. One big one is Madhya Pradesh. The surprise of the day is Chhattisgarh. I think Chhattisgarh has given the BJP a sense that this is a momentum that they've built. It's not just about Madhya Pradesh, not just what the exit pollsters like Axis said. We've turned around Chhattisgarh, a state where no one gave us really... I mean, out of 10 pollsters, 8 predicted a BJP defeat in Chhattisgarh. They've won that and winning it handsomely. Not in a super over as we thought, winning it handsomely. Rajasthan, you could argue that, compared to 2013, it's not as big a win, but it's still a win is a win. So for the BJP, all 3 coming together perfect. 2.5, I said, because in Telangana, if the Congress is able to go above 65, it is some southern comfort. But boss, to win 161 after 20 years in power is tremendous, remarkable.
But they won in different ways in different states. Madhya Pradesh is a pro-incumbency vote, women voting for Shivraj Singh Chauhan and the BJP on the back of Ladli Behna and various other schemes. Chhattisgarh is a management ka election. In that micro management that is required, throwing up new leaders, removing your old leaders who have disaffection or anti-incumbency, and finding a way of making the Congress lose and finding a way to win.
And all the big Congress leaders are losing. T.S. Singh Deo
Should we
has
go
not
across and
lost an
show that?
election in 15 years.
So let's show that on the election intelligence dashboard. We'll go through the VIPs in different states. You mentioned Chhattisgarh, so I'll start from there. In Chhattisgarh, if we look at the key candidates and how they are faring, Dr. Raman Singh in Rajnandgaon is leading. Bhupesh Baghel in Patan, the chief minister who's now on his way out, is leading. T.S. Singh Deo is actually trailing in Ambikapur. He comes from the Sarguja area. He's trailing Deputy Chief Minister. Amit Jogi naturally trailing in Patan if Bhupesh Baghel is winning there. Vijay Baghel, again, the third, the MP over there, he's trailing. Apart from that, Arun Sao. Now, listen to this man and his story carefully, because he's one of those who could potentially be Chief Minister. He is leading in Lormi. He is the state party chief. He's a sitting MP. I was on a flight with him on the way back from Raipur. He thinks he's going to be chief minister if the BJP wins, and now they've won. So he thinks he'll be fancying his chances. Fancying his chances also will be Brijmohan Agarwal. The problem, though, is that he comes from the Banya trader community, and therefore it's much tougher for him to be made chief minister in a tribal state, because the tribals versus the traders, that's the dynamic at play over there. So it's complicated for him. Apart from this, let's take a look at, for example, another senior Congress leader is trailing again in Durg Gramin. Tamraj Dhwaj Sahu is trailing, the state home minister. So that's as far as Chhattisgarh is concerned. From here, let me come to Rajasthan and take you through some of the key VIPs for Rajasthan. Ashok Gehlot leading in Sardarpura. He, though, is on his way out. To his credit, if there is credit, he hasn't been hammered as badly as he usually gets hammered at the end of his term. He's been beaten, but not as badly as he usually gets beaten. Vasundhara Raje Scindia in Jhalra Patan, she has won. Sachin Pilot is leading in Tonk. CP Joshi in Nathdwara is trailing. Rajyavardhan Rathore is leading. He was trailing initially in Jotwara. Rajendra Rathore in Taranagar is trailing. Pratap Khacharia was, interestingly, Preeti, he's trailing in civil lines. Satish Punia of the BJP trailing at this moment. Govind Dotasra is leading Lachmangarh. Professor Gaurav Vallabh, the spokesperson who's contesting in Udaipur, is trailing. Shanti Dhariwal is leading. Vishwaraj Mewar, interestingly, in Nathdwara is actually beating CP Joshi. Apart from this, Kirodilal Meena is winning in Savai Madhopur. Diya Kumari is winning. She's won in Vidyadhar.
That is one of the safest seats.
Mahant Balaknath is leading in Tijara. Now, these two candidates are also those who would be fancying their chances, Ashok Malik, if the BJP is to institutionalize a generational change in Rajasthan. But they can do a change in Chhattisgarh and in Rajasthan if they wanted. In Madhya Pradesh, because you got an incumbent chief minister and he's won with 162. It's that much. Now, अब आपने change किया है. आप सुबह से तो उल्टा बोल रहे हो. इतना लगा कि finally been able to convert him to
the moment for generational change is when you have 150 seats rather than 120. But that's my hunch. I'm not in politics.
I think the change I think Rahul, the generational change will take place in Rajasthan.
And Rajasthan, there are many.
Because I don't think that Vasundhara, you see, you fought this election without projecting her, and you've yet won, unlike the past. So once you've done that, once you've not projected her, you had a Parivartan Yatra, she was not necessarily the only person part of it, then you've got options. Then you've got every reason to say
As in Chhattisgarh.
As in Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, almost certainly, as in Rajasthan, or in Rajasthan, they will look at the caste calculus. Do you want to, in some way, look at OBC politics again in Rajasthan? Do you want to look at possibly a tribal face? You see, the BJP always looks at caste calculus. My sense is it will be someone from the OBC community there.
And there are plenty to go by. There is Baba Balaknath, there's Bhupendra Yadav, there is Gajendra Shekhawat, who fancies his chances as well. There is CP Joshi, who comes from Chittorgarh.
Okay, those are interesting images there. DK Shivkumar giving a laddu. The only laddu the Congress can eat today is in Telangana. Revant Reddy, likely to be the next chief minister, is getting a nice big laddu from DK Shivkumar. He went there to safeguard his MLAs. Hopefully that's not required. 65 is where the Congress is at.
There's a new party which has been formed. today called Congress S.
Which is what?
Congress South. In the past, there used to be a Congress S, which Sharad Pawar and others had broken away and formed in the 1980s. A new party has been formed called Congress S. This party is the party which is dominant south of the Vindhyas.
You know, I want
That's
to
the
ask
story.
a question to Sudhir. Sudhir, I'm looking at the trends, especially where the AIMIM is concerned, and it's fascinating because it's completely shrunk. It's a decimation of the AIMIM. So that,
Though it
what?
is-
Yes.
Yeah, it's still leading in 7 seats, so they may still win their 7 seats, but the margins will be much lower.
lesser.
Yakutpura was what I was getting the figures for, where the BJP is said to be leading. So I don't know.
Let's be fair, just to correct to our friends, Mr. Owaisi. He's come back. He's won out of he won 7 last time.
But
So
it's a tight
he's
fight,
winning in
so
6. Only Nampalli, which was expected. You see, we have to go with the way the wind has blown. Now he's winning his bastions.
But has it struck that Owaisi is team B of the BJP? Has that narrative struck?
No, see, the thing is that the way the Hyderabad old city is that it is seen as an MIM citadel, which is why the voting percentage is also low. People don't go for vote. Vote karke bhi kya fayda, MIM to jeetne wala hai. So that's the general attitude. But this time it has kind of fluctuated a lot, which normally does not happen with the MIM seats. You know, it goes in one direction.
Exactly.
This time the BJP has also made inroads into the MIM citadel, which would be a matter of worry for Owaisi 4 months down the line.
Okay, Pradeep Gupta now joins us, lead pollster at Access My India. Pradeep, welcome. You've got the Telangana poll right. You've got Madhya Pradesh right.
Madhya Pradesh bang on. And a real outlier. Madhya Pradesh is a real outlier. So full marks to what you got in Madhya Pradesh.
Telangana.
Telangana full marks again.
You cannot compare my performance with others. My performance is my performance.
Okay, so
good or bad.
two you've got bang on. Madhya Pradesh, Telangana. Your
Rajasthan, directionally you were showing the Congress in front, the BJP doing much better than you'd anticipated.
No, you've got, let's be honest also. We've got to be honest. You got Rajasthan wrong. You've got Chhattisgarh badly wrong. That's the truth. I have to say this.
Rajdeep, in both the cases, we have also projected that BJP is likely to win the majority. We may not have called it accurately as of the
You
case
got
of...
Rajasthan wrong last time as well. What
No,
went
it's
wrong
not the wrong. Last time also we got BJP 72 seats, but Congress we said 110. They
that
got
last
100.
time was okay. This time you've got
Directionally also this time we have projected as the you cannot say it wrong. I agree, it is not right as well. It's all depend half glass full or half glass empty.
Yeah, you know,
however way you want to see.
I will say one thing.
Sir, if it's not right, it's wrong.
No, Pradeep went where no journalist went and predicted Madhya Pradesh spot on. All of us
No,
went,
more than the BJP also.
Yeah,
Even the BJP didn't.
even I said BJP ahead, but Kati ki takkar. I've got that video. So Pradeep is spot
You've
on.
said so many different
No,
things.
one
at
minute.
so many
No,
times.
I've got it all here on. I'll tell you exactly. But both of us got, Preeti and I got Rajasthan right. Pradeep has got it wrong.
I got Madhya Pradesh also
No,
right.
you said also slight
Achha,
edge.
this is
Nobody
not
said
about
150,
journalists.
160. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Let's
I
all
said
be
BJP
honest with
ahead, yeah.
ourselves. It's a way to do
We didn't say
journalism.
wave. Yeah, I didn't say
Nobody
wave.
said a wave. It's a wave. On the other hand, in Chhattisgarh, most of us who went there, including pollsters, predicted, Pradeep, that the Congress would be ahead of BJP. BJP has gone well ahead. What has gone wrong? What changed in Chhattisgarh? Let's start with Chhattisgarh because that is the real election whether turnaround compared to pollsters.
Yeah, that's right. Chhattisgarh also, Rajdeep, we projected Adivasis are voting more in favor of BJP, particularly in case of Bastar region, which is the case. Now, coming to the why BJP got extra vote, 3% extra vote than our projection and as well as the more than the Congress, 3% more than, is basically the OBC's vote. Sahu, we projected very well that BJP is getting lion share this time, which was not the case the last time. But the Dalit votes, particularly Satnamis, which is in the large numbers in Chhattisgarh,
Which used to be once with Ajit Jogi.
BSP and DGP formed the alliance, and good amount of these Dalit and Adivasi votes shifted towards this alliance, which dented the prospect of Congress. This is the case and a story of Chhattisgarh.
Very interesting because I remember you mentioning, and let's give Pradeep credit. He mentioned others could be a critical factor in Chhattisgarh, and you're saying they've taken over the Dalit vote. You also spotted a trend which may have got a little more magnified in the results, which is women.
Yeah.
I sense that women have voted for the BJP in much larger numbers than men. So clearly the welfare schemes that the BJP promised in Chhattisgarh have worked among women, just as they did in Madhya Pradesh through Ladli Behna.
Absolutely. And that particularly Mahatari Yojana, which they...
Mahatari Vandana Yojana.
Mahatari Vandana Yojana virtue of that 12,000 rupees they promise in a year to female of the Chhattisgarh, which is the same case of Ladli Behna type. And these are the more or less same state, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And people believe in that, particularly female, and voted large number in favor of
So you're
BJP.
saying the others, in a way, took away a bit of the Congress vote, especially Dalit vote.
Dalit and
The
Adivasi.
BJP's got the Sahu vote back. They put 14 Sahu candidates
Yes.
up there, and the woman vote has gone towards the BJP. What about Rajasthan? What you had said in Rajasthan, and you're right there, that you had said it's possible that the BJP could, in one of your scenarios, get a majority, but the gap, the Congress has come nowhere close to the nervous 90s. They've fallen to 71. BJP has pulled ahead. Is it the Gujjar vote, in particular eastern Rajasthan, when I look
No,
at
actually, if you look at the map, no. So it's the Jaipur division, it's Bikaner, it's Hanumangarh, it's Nagaur.
Yes.
That's the area where they've
So
totally...
what changed?
Here also the others damage the prospect of Congress here, I would say again, because BJP vote bank is largely the same as Brahman, Rajputs, OBCs, which is the same. But if you see the Jat votes particularly, and then the Adivasi and Dalit votes, it seems here as well, BSP has played a very big role in Rajasthan. If you see the vote share of BSP overall, is 2 to 3% is a significant vote for BSP in the state like Rajasthan.
In fact, others are about...
difference between BJP and Congress
That's the 3%
That's the 3% difference between BJP
Well,
and
actually,
Congress
others are about 18% at the moment. So others are very significant in Rajasthan.
We projected
now, a local journalist in Rajasthan has told me that the biggest problem that Gehlot had was repeating candidates. You only cut 17 tickets. And the sense one gets is that has also cost the Congress local anti-incumbency, because region after region, Preeti, there's not a single region at the moment where I see the Congress ahead of the BJP in Rajasthan.
No, Shekhawati.
That's the only region.
Shekhawati, they're ahead. But if you look at it, Rajdeep, it's a complete split. Just look at it. Look at where the Jaipur division is concerned. No, even Ahirwal, Jaipur. Look at Jaipur.
Jaipur region at the moment, we've got the BJP leading in 25, Congress in 18. Okay. The Congress had done very well there last time.
Yes.
In Ahirwal, which is a Gujjar-dominated area, BJP 11, INC 8 last time.
But Rajdeep, what we were suspecting is that East Rajasthan will give the benefit to BJP. It's happened, but not entirely. But it's come more from areas which are... Look at it. Look at the map. The saffron surge is completely where...
The biggest saffron surge
the Bikaner, Jodhpur area.
No, the biggest saffron surge in Rajasthan is in Mewar. 25 to the BJP, 6 to the Congress. So some element of polarization on the ground. Remember, the Udaipur incident was magnified. The Prime Minister spent a lot of time claiming that if the Congress came back, there would be, the Kanhaiya Lal story was played out. So across Rajasthan.
But this has always been the stronghold. This has been a BJP stronghold.
Are we saying, therefore, Pradeep, picking up others is the challenge for a pollster? You see, and who those others are picking up votes from becomes a bigger challenge. You can get the vote share of the top two parties right, but the others, where do they get their votes
Even in case of Rajasthan, that too, others numbers also we got a spot on. We said between 14 to 18, and 18s are likely to win as per our whatever current trends now. What is more important here, whose vote share they are getting more in numbers.
And you think they got the Congress's vote share?
Yes. Whether they are denting to the Congress or to the BJP, that is the precisely reason why last time also our poll was not spot on, though directionally absolutely right. Now,
what does this verdict mean for the Lok Sabha elections?
I don't think it has any bearing on the outcome of Lok Sabha 2024, but yes, it does moral booster for the party, for the Karkartas, for the trained kind of a setting in media. You will talk lots on this direction, the way we have been talking in last 1 year for Madhya Pradesh. We were always saying too much, anti-incumbency, fatigue factor, this
No,
and
but
that.
This is not fatigue or anti-incumbency.
Other way around, we were talking about the Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is, last time it was a landslide, 68 versus 15 for Congress to BJP. And that is the precisely reason why whatever is available before us, we have no choice but to analyze that.
But Pradeep, look at 2018 and what happened in 2019.
That's what I'm saying.
There was about a 10 to 15% incremental vote in these states for the BJP between 2018
Which could
November,
still well
December.
happen.
Which is what I'm saying. Now you've gone on a higher base. You've already, for an example, in Chhattisgarh, Rahul, the BJP fell to about 33-34% of the vote. Now they've come back over 40. Imagine if they get a 15% bump.
So let me ask Pradeep that question, because a lot of the BJP top leaders who are messaging and people around them, their big thrust, and we'll hear a lot of this from the BJP in the hours and days to come, is Ab ki baar 400 par. Given the electoral arithmetic, is that possible? Is that a campaign cry or is that possible?
That's what, again, I am telling you, whatever people and everybody will see in front of them, they are going to do analysis based on that. That is the reason why we have been saying Chhattisgarh to Congress ka secured hai, and Madhya Pradesh to BJP.
How did the Congress botch up Chhattisgarh?
The problem here is that...
How did the Congress botch up Chhattisgarh, do you think?
In both the... See, the biggest picture over here is the Congress is not able to repeat their government. Governments are always repeat purely based on the performance of incumbent government, which is not the case. On the other side, BJP has shown that the kind of credibility and the kind of people believe in the leadership of Narendra Modi, and whatever he says, whatever they promise.
One top BJP leader who called this morning while our coverage was going on said, Pradeep tells us that Hindutva doesn't work. This verdict says Hindutva works.
That is the problem with entire country. Whenever BJP is winning, meaning it is only winning because of Hindutva. This is never the case. Again and again, I keeps on reminding, if that was the case, that Atal Bihari types of leader, too tall a leader, and Ram Mandir movement at that time, they never ever secured more than 180
No, but
seats.
India has changed since then.
Nothing is changed. In fact, the kind of a religious alignment with the emergence of youth demographically, no youth likes to go in mandir. Tell me how many youths like to go in mandir and go in a religious way.
Can I just give you...
I don't agree. One second. India is more conscious of religious identity than they were previously. People are being made more conscious of religious identity, and they are more conscious of religious identity.
I'll give you a distinction. 1993, these same states, because let's call apples to apples. 1993, then of course Madhya Pradesh was one state, went to the polls in the backdrop of the Babri Masjid demolition at the peak of the Ram wave. What happened? BJP
didn't have this kind of organizational machinery.
So I'll just come to it. BJP had to get independent support to win Rajasthan, Bhairav Singh Shekhawat. Madhya Pradesh, the Congress won, and the third, and Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh, the Congress won, and Delhi also the
BJP won.
Oh, yeah, but these were the three. These were the three big ones that went. What has changed from 1993 to 2023? 30 years have gone. I think three things have changed. A, the BJP, you are absolutely right, organizationally has become much stronger. The ability to do last mile connectivity is much stronger, more robust under the Amit Shah regime. Number two, you've got in Narendra Modi a leader who embodies, I would say, what I call Moditva, which is a mix of this kind of Vikas Purush that I'm going to bring you, the promised land, a better tomorrow. At the same time, the core Hindutva vote is still with you. So you've got a core plus vote. He's added a Hindutva plus vote. Number three, I think, we've seen, I believe, a weakening of the Congress over the last 30 years. You see, when you look at a leader, you also have to look at it in the context of the opposition. I just look at the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. I covered that election 93. On the stage, Digvijay Singh, Madhav Rao Scindia, Arjun Singh, B.C. Shukla, they had a phalanx of leaders. Look at the Congress today. The only leader from that time is, the two leaders from that time are still around. Everyone else is gone. You don't have a younger leadership. You look at your opposition weakens, you strengthen. It becomes a bit of a no
Pradeep
contest.
Gupta, would the BJP be able to change chief ministers, or are they likely now, in your view? What is the data telling you? Forget what actually happens. What's the data telling you in terms of the message for who should be chief minister next?
Data is clearly, people have seen whatever the current chief minister, and in the past whoever was the chief minister, or if any party declare the chief minister candidate. So again, whatever facts before them, they based on that they say whatever they have to say.
My question is, on the basis of this verdict, what's your interpretation on who's best suited to be chief minister in Rajasthan?
Rajasthan new face has to be from OBC and backward class for sure, and youth. This
Why
is something.
new face? Why not Vasundhara?
If you compare at just for the moment, just take the example first, the Madhya Pradesh.
No, I'm asking you about Rajasthan.
Okay, chalo, Rajasthan. Now, if Gehlot Sahab was there, the incumbent chief minister, and had BJP projected Vasundhara Raje ji, any common man on the earth will definitely say Gehlot wait much more than that. And that is the probably precisely reason why BJP has never projected, and Modi was the face, then things were
They made
turned
it
down.
Modi versus Gehlot.
So this is the case. Now coming to the Madhya Pradesh, if you see the Kamal Nath on the other side, one side, and the Shivraj Singh on the other side, again the difference, any common man, 100 out of 99 will say, yaar, ye to zyada theek hai. So this is the case.
You know, very interesting.
And in Chhattisgarh?
And Chhattisgarh, again, because of...
No, you're giving
Another
your
backward
perspective.
caste.
No, I'm asking you, what is the data telling you? Who's best placed to be Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh now?
Chhattisgarh now, based on our data, Raman Singh had a big difference when popularity of Chief Minister, when we asked, than the Bhupet Baghel. Because of obvious reason. That is the reason why that data has no meaning. You have to see what is the probability on the ground. But provided you project someone, then they select one.
Can I just tell you what Pradeep had told me, and it has stayed in my mind. I used it in my book as well. After the 2018 election, when the Congress won all 3 states, we were in the evening discussing, and he made this point. He said, if the Congress has any sense, they will make Sachin Pilot or Jyotiraditya Scindia, if not both the chief ministers, to project an impression of a generational change. It is perception. It's not as if Gehlot is not more popular than MLAs. When I asked congressmen, and they were right in their own way, they said more MLAs are with Gehlot. Fair enough. Similarly, more MLAs were with Kamal Nath. But when you win an election, you're not winning it only for your MLAs. You're also looking at your future.
See, who are you as a leader? You are a public representative. So you have to see what is the ratio of representation individual personality belonging to. If your generation is 65% in the age of up to 35 years of age, then you have to look this demography and take your decisions.
But Pradeep, in Rajasthan, would you fancy the chances of someone like a Baba Balak Nath? He's OBC, he's young, and he's also a polarizing figure going into 2024.
This is a very good question you ask. And again, I want to give the answer of Rahul that Hindutva work or doesn't work. See, again, the ratios. If your population 70 to 80% lives less than $100 a month, do you think it impact their religious alignment or whatever you call following? Whereas definitely it affect the 5 to 10% of people who are the affluent class belonging to the upper caste. Definitely it does matter. So you have to decide what you want. That you want whether the lion's share or the real representation, or you are looking for those 5 to 8%. Media, you will get lots of minds here, not a single % doubt. But media
and one of the things that has also changed when I compare 93 to 2023, and Ashok, you were also around in 1993, is the OBCization. You see, in 1993, we almost took it for granted. Wo upper caste ka leader banega. Digvijay became, for example, chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. Bhairav Singh Shekhawat became in Rajasthan. Now it appears political parties are very conscious of caste. Caste census may not work, but I want my caste leader.
In 1993, just after the Babri Masjid Jam Bhoomi incident, December 6th, the BJP still loses in Uttar Pradesh to OBC Dalit alliance. I think that was a turning point.
Representation.
It was
the
a turning
share
point.
of representation.
Yes. It was a turning point in Indian politics. Because after that, the BJP also had to change.
Why Naveen Patnaik is winning consecutive 5 elections? You are ignoring all this performance. And here you talk about the performance. When actual somebody come victorious, you ignore the performance when it is the case.
I'd like to say one thing. I agree with Pradeep on one issue, that elections are multifactorial. Yeah. Identity is there, of course it is there, but it's not the only factor.
Okay, one BJP leader sent me a message. You are missing on the fact that Mr. Modi will look for a woman face either in Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan.
He has to, with 33%.
And 2 names, of course, doing the round: Saroj Pandey in Chhattisgarh, Vasundhara, of course, herself, and Diya Kumari in Rajasthan. He says Mr. Modi is very clear. He needs to see one major woman face in the BJP. I'm just telling you what I'm just telling you.
They are 100% right, but both of them belonging to upper caste.
That's right. I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just telling you.
You need backward caste. You will get backward caste chief ministers, backward caste Dalit chief ministers.
Vasundhara
And one will be a
Raje
woman.
is doing a press conference at this moment. Let's listen to what she's saying.
I think आप लोग सबसे ज़्यादा मजा तो आप लोग ले रहे हो। हाँ, 55. You can't go to 70. Where are you going to get those votes from? I'm just thinking that they all have to be standing out there. 55.
34 last time.
Last time, you know the circumstances. So circumstances all around Rajasthan tha. Otherwise, we'd have won Rajasthan. Sarkar gayi na on that. That has changed.
Hit wicket.
So expectation is.
During my Nalawad visit, I was just trying to find out a single poster of Congress candidate. Not able.
आपने ही मेरे को कहा नहीं. I also didn't look. I must say. I'm trying to remember. नहीं. Okay, we'll start. Let's get over this, and then we can sit and chat for a little while. तो सबसे पहले राजस्थान की ये जो शानदार जीत है, ये माननीय हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, जिनका मंत्र था ये सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास, ये उसकी जीत है, उनकी दी हुई गारंटी की जीत है। ये जीत हमारे माननीय केंद्रीय मंत्री होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह जी की रणनीति की जीत है, और ये जीत हमारे माननीय अध्यक्ष श्री नड्डा जी के कुशल नेतृत्व की जीत है। और फिर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट ये भी है, ये जीत हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं की, जिनके अथक प्रयास परिश्रम की जीत है। उन्होंने दिन और रात हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के जो सपने को साकार करने की पूरी कोशिश करते हुए उस दिशा में मेहनत करके ये परिणाम दिलाने का काम किया है। और सबसे बड़ी बात तो यह है कि ये जीत हमारे जनता जनार्दन की है, जिसने कांग्रेस के कुराज को नकारते हुए और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सुराज को अपनाने का काम किया है। और ये जीत 2024 में मोदी जी को फिर से देशवासियों की सेवा का अवसर देने की जीत, ये जीत है। So that's all I wanted to say. मेरी तरफ से तो इतना ही है। और फिर आप बंद कर दो तो फिर अपन सवाल नहीं, वो सवाल
आपने जहाँ रेडियन की
सवाल नहीं सर, वो सवाल अब इसके बाद आप स्विच कर दो ऑफ एंड देन अपन बात करेंगे। ये नहीं करेंगे, चाय पिलाओ।
You know, right through this campaign, Rahul, Vasundhara Raje has been refusing to take questions, and she's done the same today, because the obvious question that was going to be asked to her, are you in the chief minister race? She doesn't want to get into it at the moment, and she's praised Narendra Modi 4 times
but it's
in 5
beyond
minutes.
her control now. It's frankly beyond her control. No, but the difference with Yogi Adityanath was the top BJP brass said a lot of MLAs wanted Yogi Adityanath. He was the #1 most popular candidate when it came to who people wanted should come and campaign for them. You can't really say that.
Doesn't command that same pan-Rajasthan appeal at the moment, but you never know. But you never know.
I want to spend a moment on the
Gujarat is sui
intelligence
generis.
dashboard.
I can appoint even Rajdeep Sardesai can become chief
Looking
minister.
at
Mr. Modi
vote share numbers, okay? So we'll start with Rajasthan. I want to show you the vote share numbers it gives, because we've seen the seats enough. The vote share breakup gives you a good sense of how each of these states is actually looking. So I'll take Madhya Pradesh, for example.